immortal words of Judy Brown. Happiness is a choice. We're happy you're spending some time with us. Chip and Zay right here, holding it down. You know, one of the last few times here, Texas Sports Unfiltered, 2 to 4. We're happy you're hanging out with us. We got all kinds of goodies and pettiness, I'm sure, to share today with the one and only Zay the Right Call Collier. How you doing, my man?
My dog. Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Hey, man. You know, chilling like a villain on penicillin. You know, we're getting through this little freeze. You been out driving yet?
Hell no. No.
You're not gonna take that nice covert vehicle out on these roads with these busters driving around?
Nah, man. These folks crazy out here. I can't trust them. I can barely trust them when it's dry. How the hell am I gonna trust them when it's out here slick, sleet, ice, black ice?
Black ice.
Yeah. Watch that black ice, man.
You gotta watch out for that black ice. It'll get you.
Yeah, that brother ice. You gotta watch out for it. So I'm, feeling good. Rex, I couldn't do that, man. I pass out. You gotta be in a certain mode to be the playmaker all the time. You know what I'm saying? You. Which Michael Irvin, he has a show now. It's called The White House for the classic White House times for the Cowboys back in the day. So great name. But on this show, he's got Brandon Marshall, wide receiver, Brandon Marshall, and he has Michael Beasley, former NBA player, Michael Beasley.
Who grew up with Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant's good friend, Michael Beasley.
Both from the D.C. area.
Yeah. And playmaker, he's on one, per usual.
Where do I find this show, The White House?
Well, you'll find everything.
All right.
Just look it up.
Okay. You've seen it?
Netflix show. I've seen bits and pieces.
Okay.
I can play you a clip.
Okay, let's go.
I mean, it's not like we got crazy things to get into.
Right. So let's get into the White House, right?
Yeah. I am at that point, and I gotta get to the KD Survey commercial too. I'm gonna be showing a lot of clips today, but
that's good,
man. I began a lot of great people that are very close to my heart that have hit me up and say, "Hey, sorry about the show and stuff," and I appreciate that. It's love. I appreciate that. Like it's tough not being able to do a show next week with the great Chip Brown. I fell in love with this gig. And again, nothing to just be sorrow over. There's a lot more life to live. And I'm definitely going to live. Like that's my motto. Like I'm going to live regardless of things that you just can't control. But I appreciate everybody hitting me up, hitting us up, thanking me, thanking us for what we've done. That means a lot. But yeah, man, I can't come on here and be sad. That's just, even though I feel it, I'm not heartless, but I see your face, that beautiful smile. It's hard to be sad. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be sad, man. It just is. I got a beautiful family, beautiful wife, beautiful dog. It's tough. I'm trying. I want to feel the pain a little, but it's hard to. because what we've built here is just so beautiful, and I'm thankful for it, even though we ain't got many days left here. You know what I'm saying? So again, appreciate everybody. Keep on chiming in like y'all always do. Petty, the good, the bad, ugly, whatever. We appreciate all of y'all, man. It's love.
Well, you know what the hardest thing is for me? Because I'm the radio slut of Austin. I've
Get around.
done a show with a lot of folks, and I've enjoyed them all. But we started this show with the hope of never getting fired again. And we're not getting fired, but we're coming to an end. So I don't know what you call that. Because I've always called it effing radio. It's not, I don't do radio, I do effing radio, because you will always love it more than it loves you. Seemingly.
Yeah.
Because you love it.
Love it.
You love developing that relationship with the audience. You love getting the little inside jokes and the funnies and the little, what you mean? You know, and then record scratch.
What was that?
It was record scratch.
Oh, I thought somebody was getting whacked.
Thought we were cruising. Well, we are getting whacked.
I mean, the way you make it sound like Tony Soprano or something.
Yeah, that sounded like some bones crunching.
Yeah,
right
man.
there.
I don't want none of that.
But, you know, we bring it. We bring the energy. We bring the juice. I mean, we try. And I'm supposed to play golf Thursday, so that show should be nutso.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
You know.
Yeah, man. I'm supposed to be playing golf Thursday.
I mean, we got so many requests for me to go play golf that
I wonder why.
You know,
I wonder why they like your golfing so much.
Keep it fresh, keep it original, keep it authentic, keep it 100. So, you know.
That's going to be a cold day of golf, man.
What you mean?
What you mean what I mean? We're in Ice Apocalypse or whatever the hell we're in. Thursday? Okay, 62 is the high on Thursday. You'd be cool.
Yeah.
You'd be all right. You from Michigan. You tough.
Yeah. That's right here, the dog. After golf chip on Thursday.
Nice.
So we call that off the rails Thursday. Did you have a clip of Irvin or no?
Yeah. Yeah, here's Michael Irvin on this new show, The White House, Brandon Marshall, Michael Beasley, and the topic, you'll hear the topic. It makes sense for what we talk about here.
That's the part that tripped me out too. Right.
Thank you.
I'm right there in front of the camera for 5 hours. So after the game, I do a little belt thing, and everybody sends me all the stuff. Man, Mike, right now, he coked out right now. He all on coke. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. Wait. First of all, y'all know damn well coke don't last 5 hours. Y'all know damn well coke don't last 5 hours. And I hadn't partaken in 20 years. But if you got some 5-hour stuff, let me know. That's just what I'm saying, man. Like, stop it. Like, stop saying this stuff. You know what I mean? You've been looking at me for the last 5 hours. There's no way I can do something on this sideline. But they're not doing it out of reality. They're doing it to get to you. You know what I'm saying? The reality, and another thing I want to say, you know what? When I used to get high, that's exactly what I would say. No matter who I saw. Oh, he high too. Because you high. Yeah. That's the way you want everybody to be high because you high. You see what I'm saying? Where's my camera? Whenever you sitting your ass at home high, you want to think everybody else is high because your ass is high. I understand that. But the reality is, Everybody ain't high. You need he need to stop doing it. No, you need to put this shit down and stop doing it. That's all I want to say.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
Oh man.
He's wilding.
Wilding.
That's crazy. That's on Netflix?
Yep.
What's wrong with Michael Beasley? He looks emaciated.
What does that mean?
He looks skinny.
I mean, maybe he's on that Serena Williams.
The glutides?
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right.
That's
make sure he's okay. He was wearing like burlap sack pants.
Yeah. The fit, I don't really understand the fit.
He had the bucket hat going.
But you know how these athletes act. Like they pretend they know how to dress. They really don't know how to dress. And then they call it fashion. Just because you got money don't mean you know how to dress. You know what I'm saying? So Michael Beasley, yeah, he's a part of that. But yeah, Michael Irvin, just trying to set the record straight. Coke don't last 5 hours.
Thank you,
Michael. Thank you, Playmaker. Appreciate it. Said he hasn't done it in 20 years. Do you believe that?
No.
What?
What? Do you?
Yeah, I believe it.
You
20
do?
years, man. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah,
Well,
20 years, 06, 05.
Okay.
I believe it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a class act now. Clean slate. 20 years.
Class act?
Yes, he's changed.
He's taking his belt off at games?
That's different.
Buying people's jerseys right off their back and then bringing them down to the sideline and stretching them out and whipping them with that belt?
Yeah. It needed to be done.
He didn't get to
do it against Indiana.
You get to do it against Indiana, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a bummer, But hey, maybe next year they're getting Darian Mensah. Seems like that's going through. They've come to some type of agreement. Duke and state of North Carolina, Darian Mensah trying to get the hell up out of there and go to South Beach. Which I don't blame them. Go to a school that actually cares about football. They pretend to care about football in Durham. They don't really care. So he did just enough. Now he's going to go to Miami, which a lot of people talked about. This guy better than Carson Beck. I agree. So I think it's going to be hard to replace Akeem Mesidor and Ruben Bain, but that offense, you still got Malachi Toney. That offense is still going to be fun to watch, So, yeah, look out for Miami next year. There should be no excuse for Miami, especially now with Darian Mensah losing the ACC and not being one of those teams that, unlike this year, which I still don't understand how they made the college football playoff, but they earned it. They proved us wrong. They proved to the people, we definitely should have made it with their 3 dubs and being runner-up national champs. But still, they should have won the ACC and played in that game. And now the CFP committee, they've made these new rules to where, teams are going to get screwed again this upcoming season.
Breaking news. Texas has signed an offensive guard.
Uh-oh.
It's true. Lawrence Seymour of Western Kentucky. He transferred to Western Kentucky after a 2-year stint at Akron. And he has 1 year of eligibility remaining. And I am looking up some more information, like on Pro Football Focus, to see how he handled his business. But Lawrence Seymour.
Okay. So he's just been chilling.
He's just been chilling. 6'2", 320. And, overall PFF grade 69.4, 82.6 in pass block. You'll take that, of course. He was in the Western Kentucky Conference. Now, he did start off at Miami. Man, this guy's going to see the world. So he played 1 year at Miami, 1 year at Akron, 1 year at Western Kentucky, and he will finish it off at the University of Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
left guard.
That's what they need more than anything. So I respect it. I appreciate the get. You know what I mean? I hope he's coming in
hungry
in for a battle. Yeah.
Hungry. They need him to be starving. Now, this is going to be the real interesting thing. Can they still get that joker into school?
What does that mean? Can you still get that joker into school?
Because for you and me, if we were students at Texas, the last day to be in a class was January 20th.
Yeah, but we ain't shit. This dude, he's trying to win a national championship.
Right.
Get him in.
Get him in.
Get him in.
Get him in.
Come
Get
on,
him in.
Man. Get him in. Yeah, he might be a week behind on that syllabus, but all you're doing is introducing yourself to the class anyway.
Right. Hello, my name is Lawrence.
Yeah. Hi, Lawrence. Like, he tells him where he's from and stuff, and then bam, he's in. Let's go play some football. See you at winter workouts. We're running a lot. We're lifting a lot. Like, come on, bro. I hope they sold him because this could be the missing piece.
Let's go.
This could be it. We're going to look at January 27th and think, all right, Lawrence here was the missing piece, ready to go. And I've been saying this for weeks now. You bring in Lawrence Seymour, Western Kentucky. They don't have to be from a Power 4 school. You'd like that. But there have been plenty of diamond in the rough guys that have not only gone to different schools that were on a higher level and performed, but also gone to the NFL and have performed and were afterthoughts at their previous place. DeMarcus Ware out of Troy is one of the ones that really comes to mind with that. And I'm not saying this guy will be part of the production level as a DeMarcus Ware. Obviously, they play different positions, but you get what I'm saying here. This could be that diamond in the rough guy that they've been waiting on, that they could develop, that fits in the scheme and understand what's going on, to where Raleek Brown and Hollywood Smothers are like, all right, bet. I like to run behind this guy. This guy, he going to make some lanes for me. And those two, I feel good about them doing the rest. So maybe this is it. But maybe he's also in a battle too with my man from Sikorsky and homeboy from, what's my man's name, from A&M.
Kobe or Jonte Newman.
Jonte Newman. Like, don't give him the job just yet. Make him earn it.
All right, he's got to earn it.
He's got to earn it. Yeah. I don't know if there was much of that last year. I couldn't tell you how much of that there was, of how bad that offensive line was. Like, come on now. Kyle Flood, let's go. Sleepless nights starting now, Kyle Flood. They start now. Next time I see Kyle Flood, I need to see them eyes baggy. I need to see him just look straight up exhausted, tired. Yeah, I mean, how bad you want it?
How bad do you want it?
How bad you want it? Because your job's on the line, Kyle. At least it should be. Jobs on the line. You heard Lance Taylor last week. He said Steve Sarkisian, most pressure out of any coach next year coming in. All right. That's Kyle Flood, he right there. He feeling that same hot-ass seat that Sark on, which I don't even think Sark really got much to worry about. It's really Kyle Flood. That seat is on fire.
He needs asbestos underwear.
Something, man. He needs to take this ice from outside and put it under his ass because he's feeling it. It's real.
Cool.
And and it should be there. It should be there. I'm sorry. It should be. Too much talent gone the waste. Too much talent left. I can't wait to see what Connor Stroh and Nick Brooks and all those dudes do. Daniel Cruz, what the rest of their careers are like. Because all those guys has upside. Scouts, they gonna be looking at those guys. You see their bodies. How could you not look at them? Obviously, they got to be productive too, but shit. Come on now. It didn't work here for some reason. They gave up on Kyle Flood, said, it ain't worth coming back. So you're going to have to show me with the guys that are in why you were good with those guys leaving.
Yeah. Because some of the Texas guys who transferred out are ranked higher than like Dylan Sikorsky. But hey, that's just subjective opinionating. Let's see how it all looks on the field this year. My man Lawrence Seymour, he's from Miami. He's from Miami Gardens, Florida.
That's what I'm talking about. So he know. Yeah, it's all about football there.
His best games, he's a good pass blocker. He's consistently rating high in the pass blocking. He had one penalty all season. He gave up one sack all season. Let's go, Lawrence Seymour.
Diamond in the rough. What about his run blocking?
320. Run blocking, 63.9.
That's all right.
He's,
you work with that.
We'll work with that.
You work with that.
We'll work with that. At this point, work with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle Flood had the whole crew last week at Dirty Martin's, whole offensive line crew getting acclimated and stuff, eating burgers, drinking shakes. So
that's a good place to do it.
Great place to do it. Shout out to Dirty Martin's, man. Still standing strong down there off Guadalupe. But yeah, I need some of that chemistry off the field to translate on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And Connor Robinson, like, this is it, bruh. This is it.
Come on, Connor.
Connor Robinson, he has to be good.
You running the show.
Yeah, he has to take another step, man. He has to, because this just isn't a year to waste, man. And last year, you wasted last year. I'm sorry. Like, there's going to be guys that go to the NFL from this team and guys that are going to have, success coming into this season that didn't have as much this past season. I know that. But still a waste. Because if Miami is out here getting to the national championship game, I still think Texas at their best play with that Miami team at their best. So,
hey, Jaden Chapman. I'm looking at the top returning run blockers. Now, Jaden Chapman only played 15 snaps.
And who was it against?
It was probably against like San Jose State. Yeah, he played 10 snaps against San Jose State, 2 against Oklahoma, and 3 against Arkansas. But he had a run blocking grade of 71.9, which puts him behind Trevor Gooseby, DJ Campbell, who's gone, and that's it. So Jaden Chapman, let's see if you can continue to put up those kinds of results with more snaps. Maybe Jaden Chapman is ready for prime time. Connor Robertson had a 66.3 run blocking grade. And our guy, Lawrence Seymour, a 63.9 run blocking grade.
What conference is Western Kentucky?
Was that the Sun Belt?
Conference USA?
Conference USA?
Yep, Conference USA. So they playing some good teams, solid teams.
Yeah, we're hoping, wishing and hoping, trying to just manifest Lawrence Seymour into a gangster. But hey, he's played, I mean, he's been in college football for 4 years. He redshirted his first year at Miami and then played as a redshirt freshman and then went to Akron and then to Western Kentucky.
Damn, they went 5-14? That can't be right. It's basketball. Okay, I'm tripping. I'm about to say, that ain't right.
Western Kentucky?
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, something ain't right here.
You were looking at the basketball?
Yeah, I was looking at the basketball. I was like, this can't be right. They can't be this bad.
They didn't play 19 games.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't add up. Okay, third.
Yeah, third. 9-4.
9-4.
Come on.
Not bad.
Come on.
Not bad.
Come on. Yeah, man. Okay. So there you go. Texas lands an a left guard out of the portal. Lawrence Seymour from Western Kentucky via Akron, via the University of Miami. So let's hope it's all coming together for old Lawrence. 6'2", 320. So tonight, speaking of Texas football, tonight you got the East-West Shrine Bowl. And Ethan Burke and Jalen Gilbo will be on the West team. And DJ Campbell will be on the East team. Jack Endries was also on the East team, but he left after 3 practices. But I talked to Eric Galco, who is the scouting, player personnel director. He's the Drew Fabianich of the East-West Shrine Bowl, about how these guys were looking. And Ethan Burke, man. Ethan Burke was a finalist for the Pat Tillman Award that the East-West Shrine Bowl gives out for high character and leadership during the week of practices. So Ethan Burke showing up, showing out. And I was told to expect a show tonight from Ethan Burke. Huh?
A show?
Show.
That show sound like 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss.
Last time I was told he was going to put on a show was against A&M. And he put on a show.
At Kyle Field or?
No, well, both.
This past year. Yeah, because all Texas fans remember his 4th down stop, 2024. So he performs well against them Aggies. That's for sure.
He's motivated, man. He wants to show people what he can do. He had some good things to say about Lance Jackson. He had some good things to say about Josiah Sharma. In terms of guys who are like keep an eye on. So Josiah Sharma, he's going to be one of those nose tackles in the mix, replacing Cole Brevard and Travis Shaw, along with Ian Gaffard, the 387-pound defensive tackle who transferred in from Arkansas with 2 years of eligibility. That guy's good. I know people look at his weight and say, oh, he would have been the second highest rated defensive tackle for Texas this year. So
after who? Harold Canoe?
Yeah.
How big was Trevondre Sweat his last year?
360.
Damn. Yeah, they were saying he was too big. Yeah, Gaffard, we'll
387.
See. That's crazy, boy.
But he can move. Watch his film. I'm telling you, he's not some fire hydrant just, plugged into the ground. He can move. He's got good length. Yeah. That'll be good practice for old Lawrence Seymour.
Yeah. Yeah.
320 versus 387. And then the redshirt freshman they got from LSU, Zion Williams, he's 360. Muschamp likes those big space eaters. So now it's all got to come together, Zay. We got to have some team building, some chemistry. Let's get to know each other. Let's do some Culture Wednesdays in the summer. Maybe we start those before the summer. We don't have much time.
No.
We got to get to know each other.
Yeah, especially with all the players that are out right now recovering from surgeries. Trevor Gooseby, Ryan Wingo, Arch Manning. There's a lot of guys that aren't going to be or aren't participating right now in winter workouts. They're just rehabbing. So, yeah, you got to accelerate that process, the chemistry that you're referring to off the field. And hopefully Steve Sarkisian, who knows those things, he'll be making it happen. So, yeah, I appreciate what these guys have done as of late, like these last few weeks, bringing in Seymour and stuff, understanding what you need more than anything and trying to make it happen the best you can. It's just such a crazy process, just trying to get the money sorted out. And when you get the money sorted out, okay, but does this guy fit what we do? How is he going to come in? What's their attitude going to be? And clearly not everybody has the best attitude. So you got to hopefully weed those negative guys out as quick as possible and find the guys that want to buy into what you're preaching. You're Steve Sarkisian. And again, hopefully that thing translates to the field.
Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But
I like what you're saying right here, Zion. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, you want to be optimistic, but also we don't know. We don't know how Brendan Baker's going to be at guard. Like, we don't know who is going to be in that battle for left guard. Sikorsky, now Seymour's here. We mentioned, Siani. Obviously, he'll be on that right side, but is he going to be able to figure it out? Like, we expect him to be good, but it's still a process. So, yeah, it's different. It's different because this is the first time that you're having guys that weren't OGs. Like, it wasn't organic bringing those guys from high school. You're getting them on the transfer portal, and you're expecting them to play big-time reps and snaps for you. So this is different from what Steve Sarkisian and Kyle Flood are used to with the offensive line. They're used to it with every other position, but the offensive line, we have not seen transfers come in and play.
These are the first ones.
These are the first ones, and they had to do that. That's why I say Rex again after me, a waste. Last year was a waste, in my opinion, because it was that bad. And how good and how wide open, besides Indiana, take Indiana out of it. If you just, again, hypothetically speaking out the ass here, take Indiana out the equation. Texas could play with everybody else at their best. It was just a hard time seeing their best at times because it was so inconsistent. That's what I mean by waste. Because it was such a miss at the offensive line where they had to do this. They didn't want to do this. They had to do this. They had to go get Siani. They had to go get Seymour. They had to go get Zurkowski. Plus all those other dudes that were here, they clearly didn't buy into what the coaches were telling them, whether it was this past year or during those exit meetings when they were letting them know, like, maybe this isn't the right fit for you, son. And that's our fault as coaches. We thought we had something there with you. Turns out we don't.
Yeah.
So we got to go find guys that we feel good about because we can't waste Arch Manning's last year, baby. Can't do that. And he has 2 years left. Arch Manning gone after this season. He gone. He got them 30 starts out. He gone. It's time for what's next, man. Time for what's next.
He'll be right at 30, won't he? If Texas has the kind of season that they want to have.
How many does he have right now?
So he had 2, and then he's got 15.
He's got 15. Yeah.
He can be right at it.
He'll be right at 30. With the last name gives you 5 extra games anyway. The last name, the Manning last name, them scouts be like, oh, that 30 looks more like 40 just because of his background and his knowledge and the people that are in his life. So it's a little different. But, yeah, he gone. And it's going to be a crazy quarterback class in 2027.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be loaded. Who's your Trinidaddy Chambliss, Dante Moore, Arch Manning? I mean, here they come.
Sam Levitt, you throw him in there. I expect Josh Hoover to light it up with Kurt Signetti. Like
Rocco.
He's a sleeper.
Rocco up there, Penn State.
Yeah. And again, we don't know. Like, we had no idea Fernando Mendoza was going to be this good. You were talking about Fernando Mendoza pretty early, but you didn't think he was going to be number 1 pick, Heisman Trophy winning good.
Woo!
So who's going to be that dude? Like, I didn't expect Cam Ward the year before coming from Washington State to the U. I didn't expect Cam Ward to have that season that he did. So you just never know. And the way that we were talking about Lenoris Sellers and Garrett Nussmeier before the season and just all these things. I heard people were talking about Garrett Nussmeier just straight up number 1 pick. How can you go wrong with that? And now he has to have a good pro day. He has to have a good Senior Bowl. Has to have a good combine just to get in them first-round talks again. So, yeah, it's still got to play the game. All these assumptions and stuff's cool, but you still got to go out there and ball.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's the bottom line. I see all the comments. We're making a lot of assumptions. Kyle Flood's got to coach his ass off. Kyle Flood is in a contract year. Whether his contract says it or not, he's in a contract year. If Sark's giving him a mulligan, he's got to be on fire. I heard people talking about they saw Kyle Flood at the basketball game during the junior day. He was talking to everybody. He had his A game going, baby. Okay. Kyle Flood. We got eyes on you. It's time. Bring the thunder. Because whatever was going on before this, where all your developmental, not all of them, still got the Coleman twins, but a lot of them just walked out the door. This is like the defensive tackle situation a year ago. Aaron Bryant left. Zach Swanson left. Tia Savea left. I mean, it was one after the other. Jere Bledsoe went to Mississippi State. And you had to go hit the portal to find young guys, middle-aged guys, old guys. Brought in Murad Watson. Hell, Levon Johnson came in. He's going back to Maryland.
He going back?
He's going back to Maryland from whence he came. It wasn't happening.
Yeah, it wasn't happening.
But hey, now you got Muschamp in here. He likes them. He likes the big fellas. And here we go. That whole defense is going to get juiced up by Muschamp coaching them. That dude gets your attention. Maybe, well.
Yeah, I want to see how he adapts. It's been a while since he's been here, and obviously him as a head coach didn't work out at either South Carolina or Florida. So, yeah, you were helping out at Georgia and doing your thing and a big part of that success. But, everybody gives Kirby the credit there.
Yeah, but Muschamp knows what it takes.
For sure.
He knows what those practices were like when he won 2 national championships at Georgia, and he was co-defensive coordinator. So he knows what it's about.
But Dwayne Aquina knew what it took too, though. That's my point. No, you can't say
No. From what I heard, Aquina and PK did not communicate well. It did not work. So we know Aquina's wired and super intense. It does a great job. He's put the guys in the league to prove that. Sometimes it's not a great fit in terms of the coaching. And you've got to tie the front and the back of your defense together. It has to be seamless. And I think that's why Steve Sarkisian made the move. I think Johnny Nansen feels good about Will Muschamp. And we know Muschamp feels good about Mark Orfe and Blake Gideon because he's coached with those guys before. I mean, Mark Orfe got his start with Will Muschamp. So he knows what's up. And Gideon left a defensive coordinator job to come back and work with Muschamp. So, yeah, this is like I feel pretty good about the defense. I mean, I know you lose some dudes. You lose Ant Hill, Michael Taft, Leonga Lafau, Ethan Burke, Cole Brevard, Travis Shaw, Malik Muhammad, Jalen Gilbo. Jalen Gilbo had two years as a starter. And Mark Orfe's got to coach him up, man. Bo Masco. That's a dude that you need him to walk in and just be cold as ice. You need him to walk in and be like, yeah, y'all just watch me. And I like Bo Masco. I think Bo Masco wanted to go somewhere where he could win.
Hell yeah.
Because
yeah, Rutgers.
Right? Sorry, Rutgers fans, but yeah, I mean,
Masco is such a dope name.
He had a 83.1 coverage rating. And that's
pretty good.
Let's see, that would have been number 2 on the team behind Michael Taft. So come on in. Malik Muhammad had a 69.8 coverage rating. Bo Masco, 83.1. I want to see them get the most out of a guy like Warren Roberson and Kobe Black. Because Roberson he's physical, man. He's physical. He can play man. They just got to sculpt him and mold him into an every down guy. Someone who's consistently makes the right decision. And he needs to be a Nick Eamon-Wari. Damn.
Oh, that crazy.
That dude. That's a beautiful thing when a rookie comes in and is making play after play after play.
Yeah, cussing out your vets, holding your vets accountable.
Well, the other guy I'm absolutely fascinated by because I think his ceiling is so high is Grayson Littleton. So I can't wait to see what Muschamp sees for him because I think he can play outside corner and I think he's going to be really good at it. He's so disciplined. He's so technically sound. Like for a young guy, he's where you need Roberson to be, in terms of that technique, discipline, all of it. Because Roberson's so athletic. He's so physical. Just got to get him to, kind of rein him in a little bit. Yeah. But it can be done. It can be done.
I mean, we just didn't see him get the reps at corner. Like a lot of those mental lapses came from special teams from Warren Roberson, and they were just so big in the moments. Like it seemed like when Matthew Golden had those kick returns that he almost took to the crib, there was a flag. Or Ryan Niblett has a punt return that he almost takes to the crib, there's a flag. And then a lot of the time it went back to number 24, Warren Roberson. So, if you're messing up on special teams, it's kind of hard to trust you when you're playing the cornerback position. And finally, he got his opportunities against Michigan, and he capitalized on it. The way that he was hitting, just his intensity. I hope that he could just last the whole season because he throws his body around like crazy, which is why you got to be deep in the secondary. You have multiple guys, Wardell Mack. Here's your turn to step up, bruh. You mentioned Grayson Littleton. You mentioned Kobe Black. Like all these guys, Cade Phillips, now Bo Masco. A lot of these guys are going to get opportunities in this defense, and hopefully they can step up and they're ready for it. Yeah. I heard Jalen Gilbo's having a really good Shrine, East-West Shrine Bowl, what he's done in practice and stuff. Heard Jalen Gilbo's been doing this thing. I don't know if he's playing more at that star nickel spot.
They had him at nickel.
Oh my God. And he's doing well there? What a shocker. He should have always been that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get how good Grayson Littleton was, but I don't know, man. I just think they did Jalen Gilbo a disservice putting him at outside corner this year. It wasn't like he was horrible. It wasn't like he was the worst thing ever. It's just he had moments where you're like, this ain't it. And
he wanted that.
Increase.
He wanted that. He wanted to be outside corner. Because that's
you got to give it to him.
I know.
You're the coach. You're the coach. Maybe Dwayne Aquino was telling that to Pete Kwiatkowski. Hey, bruh, y'all got me working with this guy that he ain't getting it. What's going on here? Which that takes me to that because you mentioned that, and now I'm just how my mind goes, conjuring. You know how that goes, man. It's 4 days of it left, y'all. Y'all could deal with it. How those conversations go with Pete Kwiatkowski and Dwayne Aquino, because both those guys brilliant defensive minds. Yes, there were times where you're thinking about what the hell you doing, Pete Kwiatkowski. It's 3rd and 15, and you got guys 16 yards off the ball, the line of scrimmage. Very confusing. And I'm sure Dwayne Aquina's like, what the hell with that? But, man, we couldn't come to some type of agreement or compromise or just for the sake of the team. For the sake of the team. Like, it couldn't have been that left, where just everybody's disagreeing, and it couldn't have been that bad. But both guys aren't here no more, so clearly something was that bad.
No more free releases. And look at what Miami did. Miami had to play off coverage a little bit. And then when Xavier Lucas came back from his, first half suspension, they were up on the line. And that's how you got to play it, man. You got to be able to reroute guys. You got to be able to keep them from just getting a free release. I mean, it's hard enough to cover Jackson Smith and Jigba when you're trying to man him up. You just give him a free release, forget it. So, yeah. Come on, Muschamp.
Yeah, speaking of that was, I know Sean McVay's probably kicking himself because they would put Jackson Smith and Jigba in the backfield. You could chip the dude, you know that, right? Like, he's coming out of the backfield, like, you could give him a little shot to mess up the timing. And Jamar Chase, petty as hell, boy. These wide receivers, which I appreciate. You see a wide receiver getting a lot of love, playing for Super Bowls and shit, and people forget about guys that have been there and done that. And Jamar Chase is like, yo, don't forget about me. People are talking about JSN, the best wide receiver in the league, which he had the best numbers this year. You got to give credit where it's due. But Jamar Chase on one of those plays, that touchdown that he had, that JSN came out of the backfield, Jamar Chase was like, yo, they would ship the shit out of me in those situations. How the hell is he getting these free releases? Like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing?
Oh, and Sean McVay's probably thinking, like, damn. And that's just good offense. Like McDonald and that team, that's good offense. Like, they knew that maybe the Rams haven't seen this before. Let's put them in the backfield. Let's put them everywhere. Jackson Smith and Jigba, the dude's a freaking star. Put him anywhere on the field, he's going to be a problem. But
so yeah. I texted Lance Taylor, our SEC insider and prognosticator and resident LA Rams homer. I said, who do you blame for the Rams loss? He said, refs, McVay, Xavier Smith. A lot went wrong that shouldn't have. And Darnold played his bleep off. Literally career game.
It's tough.
So, Sam Darnold, baby.
Yeah.
Got to give the man his props. Can he hold it together for one more game? Can he hold it together for one more game against them Patriots? Because that Patriots defense is better than it gets credit for. Damn, Gonzalez back there.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good. He's might be the most underrated corner in the league.
Man,
he's really freaking good. And they were touching him up a little bit early on when the weather wasn't too crazy. They touched him up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was the reason why they scored that touchdown in the first quarter. But after that, with that wind, that weather, you couldn't throw it all, which takes me back to Sean Payton with his bong-ripping ass. Put Bam Bam in. Put him in the game. Put him in the game. After we see old Stiddy throw the ball back, I call him Stiddy because Tom Brady calls him Stiddy. That was his rookie name when he was with the Patriots. Old Stiddy, Jared Stidham. When he threw that ball backwards, that's it. That's it. That was the leash.
He threw the Super Bowl away.
Threw it away just like that. Just like that. And just because Sean Payton is prideful, has been talking crazy about Jared Stidham the whole week before the game. He's that guy. I know backup.
Manifesting.
Yeah, manifesting, which is good coaching. You don't want to say, well, I don't know. I don't know what this guy's going to be like. Like, you want to give him confidence and make him feel like he's on top of the world. I get it.
We're all saying Hail Marys.
Yeah, but also I'm telling the coaches behind the scenes, hey, I'm calling Sam Ellinger. Hey, bruh, be ready. Be ready. Come to practice ready. I know what you don't even have to say that to Sam. You know he ready. You know he prepared. You ain't even got to say that, but just to let him know, hey, I'm not going to say this to the team. I'm not going to say this to Stiddy. This is just a me-you conversation. Stiddy will be on a short leash. Be ready.
Well, you made a great point about when the weather turned sideways snow. Wasn't nobody completing any passes. So run, bam, bam, Sam. Make the defense account for all 11.
Yeah.
Where's the ingenuity? Just say you're going to do it for a couple of plays. And then if it's successful, you're like, you know what? We're going to do it a couple more plays. We're going to do it a couple more. You know what? Hell, we're just doing it. And didn't happen.
It happened.
Didn't happen.
Yep. And now they at home chilling. Chilling, man. You don't get many of these opportunities. You got an all-world defense. All-world defense. You go in playing the Seahawks with that defense, you still got a chance with Stiddy and Sam.
Yeah.
In Santa Clara, where the weather's better, you still got a chance, man. Hufunga, Patrick Surtain II.
PJ Locke.
Yeah. Jolly Barron could barely get on the field because that secondary is so good. They took Jolly Barron in the first round. Then they realized, oh, wait, we got Hufunga now. Our secondary's tightened up for real. That was a huge pickup, getting Hufunga. I love that dude. I think that guy's straight up star. He was so good with San Fran, and then he tore his ACL, or he tore something, meniscus. He tore something. And San Fran was like, the money, we don't know if you could get back to what you were. Second team all league. First year back. Like, he didn't even need a year to, like, really get back to what he was. Like, immediately. An immediate impact. Like, he is like a bootleg ass Troy Polamalu. A great value. And that's not a diss. I'd love to be a bootleg Troy Polamalu. That's one of the best safeties to ever do it. Like, he looks like him too. Like, those two are tight. Didn't Hufunga come from USC? I think he did.
He came from USC, baby. 5th round pick.
Steal.
5th round pick.
Steal. Robbery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yep. Yeah. Him and Polamalu are tight. Real tight. That Polynesian.
We didn't talk about Gary Patterson, our man GP, taking over the defensive coordinator job at USC. Let's go, GP. He'll get that defense right. He'll get that defense right. He'll coach the hell out of them, too. Del Conte used to have to tell Gary to, hey, you're all right. They hear you. You don't need to.
You mean on the sideline?
I think in practice. Gary can get hot. But that's why his teams were always so damn good.
Yeah, what?
He's detail-oriented.
Yeah. And he's about to get in the Hall of Fame still, too, right? He waited long enough, right? Yeah, it's all part of the plan.
Yep.
It's all part of the plan. Now you can coach.
Gary going out to L.A.
That's going to be a culture shock. That's a little different than Fort Worth. Just a little. It's a little different.
Yeah, he needed a little something. He needed to get up and out of out of Texas.
And this isn't normal LA too. It's not like UCLA. SC is in Compton. Like
Watts.
Watts, Compton, yay, West Coast. Like it's not Beverly Hills, UCLA. It's just a little different.
Right. The private school is in Watts and the public school is in Brentwood.
Which Watts is more Gary's lane. Like Gary, he can relate more to Watts than what normal LA is. You know what I'm saying? Or what people think LA is. He can relate to Watts a lot better.
Oh yeah,
So,
Gary wants those. He wants those dogs, man. He wants those bloodthirsty dogs. And I'll say this: Gary did a good job of finding those guys out of high school. He just had a sense about it. I think Cignetti has that same damn sense. That's why he's finding guys who love the game, who can't wait to show you how big the chip on their shoulder is. Gary found those guys because Gary's that guy. Gary's still pissed that he never got offered the Texas or Texas A&M jobs.
Damn,
he was,
still?
Well, all you got to do is ask him one question like, hey, why didn't you ever get offered the I don't know. I was beating their ass.
Yeah, why was that a thing? Why didn't he ever get offered? What happened there?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to say because I just think he's a really good football coach.
Yeah. So
right.
When you're out here getting
Texas, you gotta be the
gotta network and smile
CEO.
And 3 phones and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a statue at TCU.
Well deserved.
Yep.
Well deserved.
Yeah. Be interesting to see because now, he'll get into the Hall of Fame, and then if he goes and does a good job as the defensive coordinator at USC, he's going to get head coaching opportunities again.
Dang, how much more coaching does Gary want?
I don't know.
He's how old's Gary?
Let's see.
$65.
65.
Damn. I mean, Cignetti just wanted that 65, so okay.
Yeah. All right, let's get a couple of mentions here. We'll spread them out today. Hey, how about some better health in 2026? Do it the Humann way. Humann with 2 N's. They're science-backed, elevated formulas designed to help you live a better, longer life. I'm going to show you the 3 health dailies that I take every day, starting with the metabolic health daily. This is making sure your blood sugar is where it needs to be, your weight management, so that we're not trending towards adult onset diabetes. The cholesterol health daily, which accentuates the good cholesterol that we need, not the bad cholesterol. Keep taking your fish oil pills for the bad cholesterol. And then the cardiovascular health daily, which is, helping you with healthy blood flow, healthy blood pressure, vascular health. We got to have our vascular health in order. And the Super Beats heart chews, which are amazing. Number 1 recommended by cardiologists, the beet-based formula that Humann uses for these Super Beats heart chews. It's going to support healthy blood pressure. If you've ever had an issue with blood pressure, you need to order bags and bags of this. First of all, they taste like candy. And they're going to help you regulate, support your blood pressure health twice as effectively than just diet and exercise alone. And if you're working out, I try to work out. going to play golf on Thursday. That's not really a workout. The turmeric chews, anti-inflammatory. Where does the pain come from? Inflammation. So get those turmeric chews. Order up a bunch of them. Go to humann.com/TSU and load up, and you'll get 20% off your first order. And you can load up because there's a 9 guarantee, but you're going to feel so much better and your brain fog's going to go away. You're going to feel great. Do it the Humann way. Humann with 2 N's.com/TSU. Use the promo code TSU. And, when I think the ice is melting today. So you can get out to Cover 3. I know they're open. So maybe you don't want to do the cooking tonight. Just head over to Cover 3 Anderson, Cover 3 Round Rock if you're up north, and get that Sean Adams prime rib sandwich. Watch the East-West Shrine Bowl. Watch Ethan Burke and Jalen Gilbo and DJ Campbell. Get after it. They're playing 6 o'clock. So head over to Cover 3 Anderson, Cover 3 Round Rock. And don't forget about Whiskey Ridge, the new restaurant from Doug Young and Matt Dodson, who also created Cover 3. Whiskey Ridge down in Buda. So if you're down south, they got you covered everywhere. Cover 3 Round Rock up north, Cover 3 Anderson in the heart of Austin, and Whiskey Ridge down south. All right, Zay, I got to say, man, speaking of contract years, how about old Brennan Schooler? Talk about good timing. 2024. Guy is all pro. Yes, Pro Bowl, but all pro. All pro means you are the best at your position. Pro Bowl, there's a lot of guys.
Yeah. Yeah, Shadur Sanders is going to the Pro Bowl. That Pro Bowl don't matter, man, at all.
Man. Yeah, that's a little mystifying.
Yeah. Remember when they had Brandon Schooler playing corner or safety?
Safety.
Yeah. He a football player.
Yeah. Yeah, he was hustling down there on those kicks, getting those tackles. They had 2 guys on him. They're trying to shove him out of bounds. He's like, no, you ain't shoving me out of bounds. I got a ball carrier to go meet. And then whap. He makes the play. And that guy, he is so conscientious. But remember that field goal he blocked where he came running down the line and he timed the snap perfectly and then he's like diving in? It was a year ago, but it was one of the coolest plays. And he's constantly trying to like tweak that new kickoff thing. So he stands like, he moves around. They trust him, man. They trust him to run it. He's a captain. And he signed a 3-year, $9 million contract, which is great for a special teams guy. Take $1 million of that, put it in a Roth IRA, you're good. You're good. So, yeah, man, Brendan Schooler, that's a great story.
Yeah.
And he gives all the credit to who was the guy who
Bill Belichick.
No. It's
Matt Patricia.
No. Oh man.
Oh, I hope he could come back to campus and talk with the team or something. Because
that's how you make the squad.
Yeah.
Matthew Slater. He said Matthew Slater, who is no longer with the team, was the one who made him understand how valuable special teams was, especially with the Patriots. And Matthew Slater was in the league for 16 seasons, and no one even knows who he is. but he was a special teams monster, and he was aging out, and he helped to, be a mentor to Brennan Schooler. Remember, he was at Oregon. Then he and his brother wanted to play together, so they were going to Arizona. But then the Pac-12 didn't have a season in 2020, so Brendan went to Texas, and his brother went to Texas Tech as a linebacker. And Schooler had a tough game against Kansas in that 57-56 game where the fullback, Schooler dropped an interception that would have ended the game. And then they ended up hitting that fullback who got all kinds of commercials and became a star at Kansas. But, man, now he's the man. He's the man. And it's impressive.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really have a position except special teams. They're not going to run him out there on defense. He's a special teams specialist. Remember, there was a guy named Larry Izzo. You remember him, who played for the Miami Dolphins with Jimmy Johnson? Went to Rice. I hope I'm getting his name right.
Nobody knows special teamers. The only reason why we're talking about Brandon Schooler because he went to Texas.
Yeah.
What? Has there ever been a special teams guy on Rover that's made the Hall of Fame?
No.
I don't think so. But again, Brandon Schooler, incredible story. I hope he could go to Texas, come back home, and talk with the guys. Let him in, Sark. Let him chop it up with the guys so he knows, so they know how important every position is on the team. And you can make a living like Brandon Schooler is just as a special teams guy.
Yeah, Chris Boyd. Chris Boyd was a big-time special teams guy before he got hurt. Chris Boyd, one of the great stories. I always cheer for Chris Boyd, man. That dude.
Yeah, he went through it.
Lost his dad when he was 5. His mom had dependency problems. He was living with coaches. So any kid who doesn't fall through the cracks when all that is happening, God bless him, man. That's good stuff. All right, so Kevin Durant. I didn't realize this guy is like an expert investor. Kevin Durant has grown his money like exponentially. He's like LeBron. He's in with all the, he networks, and he's like, hey, if you got a ground floor opportunity, let me know, because I got some money to invest. And he has. So,
yeah,
Kevin Durant, who has no kids.
No kids.
Is he even married?
Hell no. There's a photo going around where he's taking a hug. He's having a hug with somebody, some woman. And people are, people starting to speculate and stuff that nobody knows who the woman is. But, I mean, it looks like just a friend. But either way, no baby mom, not taken, no girlfriend, no nothing. Yeah, this photo went viral a few days ago. I don't know who this woman is at all, but everybody is starting to speculate and stuff. Like, that could be his nutritionist or something.
But listen to this. His company, 35V, co-founded with Rich Kleiman, has invested in companies like Robinhood, Coinbase, Acorns, Rubrik, Skydio, and Hugging Face. And his money, it's like he's over $500 million. I mean, he could be a billionaire before it's all said and done.
Oh,
because he's
definitely.
getting in. Like, he's smart about his money. And I'm looking at Michael Beasley in that podcast you showed us. And Beasley was like, what, 1 year older than Durant?
Younger.
1 year younger.
Mm-hmm.
Or same age? Because they both used to hoop at the Mount Pleasant Rec Center. And there was this guy named Taurus Brown who told both Beasley and Durant, hey, I don't want you fools playing in pickup games. I want you working on fundamentals, and don't be playing pickup games. And Beasley was like, F that. Beasley was always playing pickup games. So Taurus was like, don't do what he does. And then Wanda would come and pick him up at the end of the day. She worked for the post office. She wasn't a delivery person. She was in the office of the post office in Washington, D.C. And she would check in with Taurus and be like, how'd he do today? I caught him playing some pickup. And then she'd make him run this hill in the rain if he didn't listen to what Taurus told him to do. And that discipline, I think, carries over in everything Durant does. Like, no kids. Smart with his money.
No kids, man. That's it right there.
He's married to basketball.
To Spalding.
Yeah.
To Wilson.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it, man. Yo, I don't know if you saw him, because he's one thing I really respect about him that I've seen Russell Westbrook and LeBron James, those types of guys, which I love both Russell and Bron. But if somebody gets crazy,
you don't love Russell.
I do love Russell. I do. Absolutely. Do I know he has flaws? For sure. Do I know
love him for?
He's a Hall of Famer.
All right.
When he was at his best, that's some of the most entertaining basketball I've ever seen. That doesn't mean it always translated to winning, but as far as entertainment, Russell checks all the boxes there. But anyways, Bron and Russell, I've seen them kick out fans because fans have said some ignorant stuff to them. KD, he'll talk back to you. And he doesn't care who's filming. He don't care what he's saying. He's calling you MFer. He's telling you to shut your ass up. He's saying, what grown man is coming over here to talk about other grown men when I'm out here millionaire, providing for my family, doing what I love, and you out here watching me? Where you at in your life compared to me? And KD will let you know those things throughout the game. I love it because that's what Bron getting people kicked out and Russ getting people kicked out. Let them talk. MJ never did that. They use that as fuel. If you're talking to guys that got that killer instinct, okay, bet. Let me prove you wrong. So I love that about KD. They played the Pistons, your Pistons, the other night. And KD, it's a timeout. And everybody's with their team. Timeout, listening to coach, Ime Udoka, writing up plays and stuff. KD's on the other side of the court, talking to fans in the front row, checking them, having conversations about like, yo, bro, ain't nobody trying to hear what you say. Nobody cares about what you're saying. I'm going to talk back to you because I'm on embarrassed. Even now, 37 years old.
Durant should be cracking jokes at those people.
Nah, man, because that's what drives him. That's what keeps him around. He loves that stuff. He's still doing it on Twitter. He's still going at folks on Twitter. Anybody has anything to say, he gonna speak his mind. He loves that stuff. That's his vice. And I love KD for it, man. And that takes me to a good segue because you mentioned he's so smart with his money. And now he's turning things that should be embarrassing to others. He's making money off of it and being real smart about it. Like the CeraVe lotion brand. We know KD, that's an ashy MFer. KD does not care about putting lotion on his skin. It's all about buckets. But Sarah V came in with the right price, and now they've turned that into this.
Bro, KD, please put some lotion on your legs, dog. Why are you actually watching my legs so closely, brother? Every time I forgot to put lotion on my ankles, I think about that one photo of Kevin Durant's ashy ankles. I had 35 on 12 shots that night. That is way more important than my ashy ankles. No way KD can be that ashy. No way. LOL. OMG. It was a skincident. My legs went viral. It's all good. There's Ashy and then there's Kevin Durant. So I've set a new scale for Ash. Kevin Durant knows damn well that running down the court with ashy legs is highly flammable. I have yet to see that. I've been ashy in plenty of games. I might not be a millionaire, but at least I moisturize regularly. That's good. That's an affordable practice. Hopefully you become a millionaire like me. They chant, "You need lotion," at KD. I'm dying. Oh, is that funny? Okay. No wonder he always wears those long-ass leg sleeves. That is not the reason why I wear leg sleeves. It's because I'm cold in these arenas, not because I'm ashy. Next time you take a matter into your own hands, make sure it's lotion. That's actually pretty funny. I don't have a reply to that. Going to be the first NBA player with a lotion deal.
Yeah.
Genius.
go.
Genius. He ain't even gonna use that Sarah V before the game. But he's got to deal with him. Like, just being smart. Y'all think he's always in his feelings and stuff. Like, no, man. When he's clapping back, when he's doing that, yeah, the fake Twitter was a bad moment. He should have just been how he is now and just replying to people as Kevin Durant. But I appreciate this. I do. Because now he's spinning something. In the Black community, if you ashy, you're going to get talked about. So he is flipping that. And he said the ashiest he was that day where his ankle went viral, he had 35 on 12 shots, which is incredible. That's what he's worried about. Not all that other crap that y'all worried about. That's why Kevin Durant is a GOAT.
He is, man. He's the GOAT. He's unbelievable.
It's incredible.
He came through here for 7 months.
Yeah.
And that was that was back when we'd go to practice.
Why can't y'all go to practice no more?
Those days are, once they moved into the fortress, you got to go through all kinds of key card things. This is, like when they were in the Irwin Center practicing, you could just roll up and there's Durant shooting lefty threes and making them. And you're just like I'll never forget the pregame for his first round NCAA tournament game in Spokane against New Mexico State. Reggie Theus was the coach of New Mexico State.
Pretty boy. And Durant, Barnes, I'm sitting next to Barnes. It's, shoot around, whatever. That fake public practice that they don't work on anything. They've already gone to the high school and worked on all the stuff they needed to work on. And Barnes is like, shoot that lefty three. And he just starts making them. And you're like, wow. This dude lives on the court.
Yeah.
He got that key card to go into that the practice facility before the Tito's practice facility.
Yeah.
Which was also nice. The Cooley Pavilion.
Yeah, cool. That one was fun. I like that one.
Yeah.
Camps and stuff.
Yeah. And he had a key card to that place because he was in there at midnight. There were times he just couldn't sleep. He's like, I got to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And getting shots up.
I'll never forget Saturday morning, just going to hoop, to trying to get in. This is like the summer. So going into September, me and my brother, we would just go around Austin looking for games. You know, there'd be just different spots, different rec centers, different gyms that would open up just to get in some good run. Northwest Rec Center, right off Mopac 2222. Saturday morning, Kevin Durant comes in. I don't know who he was with, but it was packed in there. And it was a whole bunch of just OGs and old school guys. Nobody in there could play with KD, but he loved the game so much. He's just trying to see where the run was at. He doesn't know Austin very well, but he knows he likes to hoop.
Oh, this was like his freshman year?
This is freshman year. Yeah, he was only here 7 months. So it was just like, hey, we're not doing nothing today, I guess. Let's just go see what the Austin area runs are. And he came in, and it was just so easy for him. And it was a joke. I didn't get on the court that day. It was so packed. We were there for like an hour and a half. KD, he never left the court. We were like 6 games behind. It was one of those days where it was like, yeah, it ain't worth it, man. It's not worth, because I'm not going out there and playing for 5 minutes and watch KD hit 12 straight points and then he kicks us off the court. Like, that's just, you know, but it was cool to see him there. And that was before, like, I really knew who he was. Like, you heard, okay, they got a big-time player, Kevin Durant. And even then, I wasn't thinking much of it. I was like, okay, of course this fool's dominating out here. He's playing against freaking Joe, who's about to go work at HEB for an 8-hour shift. Like, all right, him killing Joe, that doesn't mean anything to me. But it was easy. It was easy. And it was very fluid. It was very fluid. And I don't know if he was ashy. I wasn't looking at them knees, CB, but I'm sure he was. But then the season started, and you're like, oh, he could do this against anybody. Okay, got it. And then Colin Cowherd screwed over the Portland Trailblazers, where he came out and he was like, this guy can't even bench 185 pounds. Take Greg Oden. Take Greg Oden. Greg Oden's the guy. He's better. Really, Portland? Really? You could have had Kevin Durant and Brandon Roy? And you choose Greg Oden, who was good. Greg Oden was a good player, but I'm sorry. Greg Oden was limited still. If Greg Oden didn't have a good guard, let's say Greg Oden stays healthy his whole career. Are you taking Greg Oden, who could have been Dwight Howard? I say Greg Oden, if he didn't get hurt, he would have had a Dwight Howard career. Are you still taking that over Kevin Durant?
No.
No, you're not. You're not. But that was just how the league was thinking. Like, KD kind of changed how the league is. Him and LeBron, all these guys. You see AJ DeBansa at BYU, which a hell of a game last night between Arizona and BYU. But those types of players where you're like 6'8", 6'9", incredible guard skills, that's why you see so many of those guys in the association today. Because that big guy, those Greg Oden types, nah, they don't last. And those Kevin Durant types, they're just going to be more efficient to what the game is. Threes more than 2. Simple math.
6'10"?
I think he's 7 feet. I think he's not Diego Pavio, where you have to lie about what his height really is.
Yeah, he never wanted to be known as 7 feet.
Which is nuts.
Which is nuts. He's like, no, man, I'm 6'10". You're like, no, you're not.
There's multiple like photos out there where he's standing by guys like Boogie Cousins, like when they're in the 2012 Olympics and they take that team photo. He's standing next to DeMarcus Cousins, who's like 6'11", they say. And he's, I wouldn't say towering over DeMarcus Cousins, but there's a clear difference in height with DeMarcus Cousins, who's quote-unquote 6'11", and Kevin Durant, who's quote-unquote 6'9". Everybody says he's more 7 foot than he is 6'10". And, yeah, he just never wants to admit to that. But, oh, man, he just passed Dirk up in scoring, so now he's 6th all-time in scoring. It's ridiculous. And you know who has the most fourth-quarter points this season? Kevin Durant, and LeBron James. Which is crazy. I don't even know how that are like best averages in the fourth quarter. KD and LeBron. Go figure.
How far you think the Rockets can go? Do we need to amend your prediction before we?
What was it? What did I say? I said Denver, right?
Yeah, you said Nuggets over Knicks. I said Nuggets over Pistons.
Jeez, the Knicks. That ain't happening. The Rockets, man. They do dumb stuff. You know, like they just Ime Udoka. Now he's starting to play Reed Shepherd more in the fourth quarter because Reed Shepherd could play. And I think he's been on the fence of that. They've been talking about trying to find a point guard because Van Vliet has been hurt all year. And that's, no pun intended, but that's kind of their Achilles heel. Just the not having that point guard consistently. Because even though Reed Shepherd's been balling, there's some things that he does that just shows youth. So they got Thompson twin who could play. Şengün is back, so he's starting to get his legs under him again. But, you know, KD, he's playing a ton of minutes, which he doesn't care. He said it recently, I'm getting paid $50-something million. Like, the minutes that I'm playing, it's valid, which I respect because that's a lot of money. But also, he's 37 years old, so the Rockets got to find that balance, but they need him to play those minutes because he's just so efficient and so good. But I think they could beat anybody in the West at their best, even the Thunder. The Thunder, they show flaws too. And I think they're hitting that point to where they're getting bored. You know, they started off hot, and that start off was still having that feeling of the 2025 championship. And then once December and January come around, you get kind of in the dull place of the NBA season. And I think that's where the Thunder are, where they're just looking forward to April and May. And once the playoffs start, I think the Thunder, they could turn it on. But also, you got to be careful with boredom as a young team. Not many teams can overcome that boredom that, you know, other great teams have had and then still gone on to have successful postseasons and win it all. So you develop bad habits when you hit that boredom stretch for a team like the Thunder. And I think that could get them. But, yeah, they're still definitely the favorites.
So you're not changing your pick. You think they get to the Western Conference Finals?
The Rockets? I think they have a good shot. We'll see how Jokic looks when he comes back from injury. Again, the Thunder, like the Spurs, man. Spurs are really good, but also they're so young. So how real is that? You know?
You know what's crazy is I still remember vividly like 4 games from Durant's 5. The Kansas game forever because he came out and he turned that Fog Allen Fieldhouse into a library. He went for like 24 in the first half and then he sprained his ankle. It was ridiculous. Kansas fans still talk about it. The AC Law game, the triple overtime game against Oklahoma State, the Big 12 tournament game where they were down to Baylor by 20 and Durant couldn't hit a thing. And then he finally hit a 3 at like the 18-minute mark of the second half and he couldn't miss. And they came all the way back and won that game. And then they played Kansas in the Big 12 tournament, and that was an overtime game. Him and Sharon Collins and
Mario Chalmers
and the Wright kid, long,
It's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those games were insane. He was here one season. I still remember all those games.
Yeah.
Like vividly, because they were so intense and there was such high level ball going on.
And this is why, again, got to go back to Portland, because the whole thing was his size. He's too skinny. He's not strong enough. That was Portland's whole thing. We got to have Greg Oden. We need a center because centers weren't going extinct by that time, but whatever. You saw KD play center a ton for Rick Barnes because he had to. Like he had to at times. He had to play their 5 or he'd play their 4, and he'd block shots, and he averaged double-digit rebounds as a freshman. Double-digit rebounds as a freshman. That should tell you everything that you need to know. Like, okay, this guy has a certain toughness about him. Screw his size. Screw his size. And yes, his size was an issue his first few years in the league because he just didn't understand the NBA game and how to get to his spots yet because he just wasn't strong enough. And then he got stronger. And by that 3rd year in the league, that 4th year in the league, he's MVP. And Greg Oden can't get out of the tub. Like there were signs there. Like if I'm Portland, if I'm in their front office and they're like, but he's too small. I'm telling you, he averaged 11 rebounds a game. He's not too small. That doesn't make any sense. You're not averaging 11 rebounds a game being small. Do we understand that, people? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do we understand what rebounding is? And all the
Zay's trying to
now. I'm just
still trying to educate Portland in this.
I am, man, because it's Portland. After 77, they've had some down bad times. They took Sam Bowie over Michael, 84. They saw Michael Jordan. They looked at him and they said, no, he's not it. He's not what we want.
They needed Sonny Vaccaro helping them out.
They did. And I get it. They had Clyde. Screw Clyde. We're playing them both together. We're about to make history. The greatest backcourt of all time. Clyde Drexler and Michael Jordan. You figure it out. Clyde, you're playing the 3. Sorry. We're putting up numbers. We're changing the NBA. Everything's different if the Trailblazers make that move. But,
hey,
yeah.
CB is watching the Lakers doc on Hulu. Have you started watching it?
No, I haven't. I need to.
Yeah.
I'll start it next week when I clearly have time on my hands.
CB, you liking it? You liking the Hulu Lakers docuseries?
Yo, Andrew Bynum was so good. Andrew Bynum was really good. That's why I love Kobe Bryant. His 6th year anniversary of his passing the other day. God bless his soul, man. Still tragic. I'm not one of those that's going, just because Kobe passed, we're going to lie about things that happened during his career. I can't do that. I respect Kobe. I respect the family. But there's a lot of folks out here that lie on Kobe's name because they feel like that's respectful with his passing. And I understand that. But I also... Where are
you not going to be sugarcoating it?
How good Andrew Bynum was. And when people say Kobe finally won, like without Shaq, it dismisses how good those other players were, like Pau Gasol. He's a Hall of Famer. Andrew Bynum was the best center in the league at the time, at least top 3 on those championship runs. Before Lamar Odom was going to the whorehouse and stuff, and with Khloe Kardashian, Lamar Odom was incredible. Incredible, man. So I just, that's where I get like, okay, guys, or Kobe did it by himself. Like, no, I can't be a part of that. And he had the greatest coach of all time, arguably, coaching them up, Zen master. So that's where I get, it grinds my gears a little bit. I know Kobe's one of the greatest ever, for sure. That is not even close. You could say he's the greatest Laker ever. I'm with that. I'm not going to argue with you there. I will say Magic did his thing a little bit. Kareem, Jerry West, they all did their thing. But I'm never going to argue anybody that would say Kobe Bryant's the greatest Laker ever, things of that nature. But when they start saying Kobe did it by himself, that 09, 2010 Lakers team was just Kobe Bryant carrying a bunch of random postal workers and steel mill guys. No, hell no. That team was good. They were a team. Kobe Bryant is just an incredible player too, and he had to play team basketball with those guys, which led to a championship. Every championship team, it's a team, not just one guy. So
yeah, then he trashed Pau Gasol's marriage.
What are you talking about?
He snitched.
It was Shaq, not Pau.
No, it was Kobe telling his wife, and then his wife told Pau's wife. And because remember, Kobe was in trouble in Colorado, and he was like, he ended up dragging down some dudes with him. It was,
I think that was Shaq, man.
No,
Pau wasn't even a part of the Colorado. It was like 04.
Yeah, but after that, he was always having to explain himself to Vanessa.
No, yeah.
Yeah, if you go back, I'm surprised you're not in the weeds on this, dirt, petty gossip. But
CB's with me. I'm pretty sure.
No, Shaq, he had issues with Shaq. He snitched on Shaq, but he also snitched on Pau Gasol. And that one was the one that was like, what are you doing, man? You're winning with this guy without Shaq. Just relax. All right, let's get to the chip shot and the right call. Hey, for my guys who are snoring, it's more than just annoying to the person sleeping next to you. Could be the sign of a serious health issue called sleep apnea, which is a lack of oxygen when you're sleeping. And that's scary because some of you wake up gasping, and you need to take advantage of this partnership that we have for a few more days. By going to sleepcyclecenters.com and tell them Texas Sports Unfiltered sent you. They're going to take $100 off your sleep study. And Dr. Chad Denman, who's the best in the business, he's got locations in Lakeway and the Arboretum. He's dedicated his life to treating sleep apnea because it killed his own father at the age of 60. He's got the best technology to detect your level of sleep apnea and the best treatment options. So just go to sleepcyclecenters.com. Tell them Texas Sports Unfiltered sent you. You'll be glad you did. And hey, when you're ready for the big screen of your dreams, write this number down, 255-8678. That's the number for our man, Tom McKay, Audiovisual Consultations. He's going to bring you the best price on big screens. You don't need to be, shopping around town, lugging 80-inch TVs in your truck and punching holes in your drywall. Just call 255-8678. Let Tom and his crew bring everything to you. Big screen TVs, surround sound, electronic shades, surveillance, new lighting. Tom's got you covered. Just call 255-8678. All right, Zay. For the chip shot today, a little reminiscent here on Chip and Zay the last 3 years. So it always cracks me up when you say, "What you mean?" And we go back and forth, when you're conjuring, I'll throw out a "what you mean." But it cracks me up, makes me laugh. Your love of pettiness, your love of petty gossip, it cracks me up. I got this, basketball savant, best high school official or best basketball official in the history of Central Texas. Loves him some, a little romance gossip, TMZ. And I'm going to miss that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So love your expertise. Love your, sports sense, but I also love the pettiness and the gossip.
Yeah.
And I appreciate how hard you look for it and make sure that you got something for the people in the right call.
For sure.
So I just wanted to pass that along.
Nah, man, I appreciate that, man. I had a great time. It's always a great time, man. And yeah, I'm thankful, blessed, and honored to work with you. Friendship that we've developed, brother. I've always been a fan of yours from years ago when I first heard you on radio with Sean doing your thing. And yeah, it's always been a dream to work with somebody your caliber, and for that to come true these last 3 years, man, it's been an honor and something I'll always be thankful for, my brother. So yeah, it's love. I really appreciate that, for sure.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
So let's get to the right call.
Let's get it. They ain't trying to get me like Dan Lebatard crying up here and shit. Come on,
way.
Man, that's supposed to be tough.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be tough out here. I appreciate you, though.
Did you watch that UFC fight over the weekend?
No.
All right.
No. What happened?
Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. Gaethje got him. Of course, Gaethje always seems to put his fingers in people's eyes, and it's a little questionable. But
what do you mean? Ain't that a part of it? You can't touch the eye. You can't touch them up.
You get warned for it, and then the second time you get a point deducted. But anyway,
yeah, get the warning. Make them think about it.
You got me thinking about it because
that's what I'm saying. Like I like that mentality, because all it is a warning. So now that dude that I'm facing is thinking about it. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's a good strategy right there. I'm with that. All right, let's get to the right call. Before that, though, shout out to Covert Bee Cave, best in the business. If you're looking for a car, go over to Covert Bee Cave. What are y'all doing if you aren't doing that? New, pre-owned, doesn't matter. They have whatever you need, and they will work with you to find whatever you want. And if you want to take my word for how great Covert Bee Cave is, listen to these fine folks at Covert Bee Cave.
I don't have to worry about shopping for mechanics to make sure it's done and done right. I come up here, I'm in, I'm out. They give me a loaner sometimes, and it's hassle-free.
If you have any questions, they'll go ahead and help you out and educate you. They're not just here just to sell you a vehicle. They're here to build a relationship.
They treat you like family, and then they make the experience what you want it to be, not what they want it to be.
Covert, born and raised in Austin,
where you are always treated like family.
Nobody beats a Covert deal. Not now, not ever. All right, Chip. Speaking of petty for the right call, we got that here. So, Grizzlies majority owner Robert Pera reportedly got furious and threatened to buy out the minority owners of the Grizzlies after he met a woman that didn't believe he owned the team and thought Justin Timberlake did. Yeah, you heard that correctly. So the dude was so jealous that whatever woman that he met that didn't believe him said, Grizzlies, you don't own the Grizzlies. JT owns the Grizzlies. Justin Timberlake, NSYNC's finest, owns the Grizzlies.
Bringing sexy back.
Yeah. Well, Robert was like, nah, screw that. You don't believe me? I could buy up his ownership part if you don't believe me. Which, it's Justin Timberlake. Come on. If you're Robert, you shouldn't feel any type of jealous or,
Right. As Sean used to say, that's the baddest white boy on the planet.
I can't go against what Sean said. Yo, Justin Timberlake different, man. Justin Timberlake different. People think Britney Spears lost her mind because of her parents. All right. JT had a lot to do with that, which I'm not saying JT was right. JT was wilding. JT did some things that he probably shouldn't have done throughout their relationship when JT was popping. But also
now Timberlake and Jessica Biel are getting divorced.
Are they really?
Did I read that?
No, that ain't it.
Oh, that's not true?
I don't know. We're looking now.
No, keep going with your story. I'll look it up.
I mean, that's really it.
Well, that dude needs an ego check.
Right? Like what?
Yeah. That dude needs an ego check.
And you know who came out with this? Pablo Torre. This is a Pablo Torre. He's the one that reported this. Pablo Torre, famously known for trying to completely ruin the Clippers and Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard with their aspiration situation. So, you know, Pablo Torre, he gonna try to crack that information. But yeah, Justin Timberlake, if somebody said that to me, like if I owned the Grizzlies and they were like, if some girl was like, yo, Justin Timberlake owns it, I don't believe you. Let me hit up JT right now. And I'm going to FaceTime Timberlake, and then he's going to confirm to homegirl who's running the show here. Which you shouldn't really be proud to run the Grizzlies at this point. You know what I'm saying? The Grizzlies, they're pretty down bad. And John Morant, it kind of starts with him. He's lost a step. He's still crazy. He's getting into fights with teammates, not fist fights, but verbal altercations that have been filmed where John Morant's like, you can see me right now. You can see me right now.
That locker room's not strong enough for him.
I mean, I think he's trying to move his way out. He's out for 3 weeks. He has a UCL injury. But I don't know, man. I loved John Morant when he first came out, and then he just started costing himself money. And he's got that crazy-ass dad that don't help nobody, that's always on the court acting crazy too. And you just think, oh, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. No wonder John Morant's like this. And now he's lost a step, like due to injuries and stuff and father time, which father time shouldn't be affecting him. He's like in his mid-20s still. It shouldn't be affecting him like it is. But you could tell, Chip, like when he goes up for dunks and he tries all these acrobatic moves that he was so famously known for during his early career, he don't get as high. He's not hanging in the air as long. He's not as efficient as he was before. So I feel like the Grizzlies, they need to make a move and get rid of him. But
well, by the way, Timberlake and Jessica Biel is just rumors.
See, I knew it.
It's just rumors that their relationship is strained, that they might be leading separate lives. Just rumors.
Yeah. I mean, she's a decent actress. You know, I remember her on Seventh Heaven. You remember that?
I remember that.
Chuck and Larry?
Chuck and Larry, better.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Adam Sandler, genius. Writes it into the script where he gets to feel her boobs. Are those real? Yeah. You want to feel them?
Yeah. I appreciate you showing us.
I mean, Adam Sandler, of course, in whatever that other movie, Parent Reunion or
Grown Ups?
Yeah, Grown Ups. He's married to Selma Hayek.
Oh, he's always married to a bad one.
Oh.
Every movie that he's in. Yeah, Adam Sandler, he's a smart guy. I mean, Happy Madison does well.
Yeah.
They do well. You know, now he has this Netflix deal where most of his movies come out on there. And I really respect Adam Sandler. Like after Uncut Gems, he has range.
Oh, his girl in that movie.
Yeah, Julia Fox. Yeah, she kind of lost her mind. She don't look like that no more. She got with Kanye and stuff after Kim. Like, if you get with Kanye after Kim, you ain't all there. So, yeah, there's that. I had something else for you that was super petty and ignorant. Oh, here we go. The answer, Allen Iverson is facing a lot of backlash because he hosted an event in Australia in their league, the NBL league. He hosted an event. He was 2 hours late to the event, apparently. He was uninterested, didn't engage much. Basically, it was a complete shit show. And now everybody is going after Allen Iverson, saying that he's a bad guy. Don't be fooled by the Amazon Prime special that he just had that came out with Steph Curry and Shaq were the producers, which is an incredible documentary, by the way. But Allen Iverson, man, not good.
Aren't he and Shaq like the head of Reebok?
I think so. Which I don't think AI does much with that. I think Shaq just makes sure his AI is good. And I think they're reselling AI shoes, kind of like how they do with Michael Jordan, how they just keep throwing out the same shoe over and over again, and folks keep fighting in lines to buy them. I think they're starting to do that, which AI does have a really good shoe catalog. I'll give them that. Like the answer, the questions, like his first shoe, his rookie year shoe, that's an iconic shoe. Like, I love that shoe. So I get Shaq trying to bring him back in, but yeah, AI, this isn't a good look, bro. And Andrew Bogut, he had something to say about it too. He's from Australia, former NBA player Andrew Bogut. He was like, yeah, this is BS. The NBL needs to stop bringing in these NBA players for these events because they have no respect for Australian basketball and they're just trying to collect the check. Andrew Bogut said that. So AI, get it together, baby.
Come on, AI.
Come on, AI. We love you.
Yeah, that documentary was good.
It's really good. It's really good. But,
all right, let's open up the gym. Patrick and Matt. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, did anyone watch that Netflix live special Skyscraper? Alex
I did,
Honnold?
yeah.
Man,
No.
that's some crazy stuff. This dude is a free solo climber. So no ropes, no nothing. And he climbed this 1,700-foot skyscraper in Taiwan all the way to the needle at the top. He's standing on top of like a ball. I'm going, dude, get off that building.
yo, what race is this dude?
He's white.
Knew it. Knew
Yeah,
it.
it's
Just had to make sure.
As Sean Adams would say, white people shit.
Yeah. There's no way that guy, because it's the only race where you can be like, hey, mom, I'm going to go try and kill myself again today. And your mom's like, have fun.
Have fun, son.
I'm going to go do something ridiculously dumb today.
And then
they're
I'm like,
go make a career out of it.
if this is a live Netflix special, this dude must have gotten paid. And it turns out he got like mid six figures. I'm like, dude, you should have gotten like $5 million for that.
Love of the game.
Yeah. He said he would have done it for free. That's bad leverage.
His wife is sitting there watching from a van down below, like, oh, no big deal. My husband's just going to climb a skyscraper without any sort of protection.
Yeah.
Oh, and they've got kids. Like, what are you doing, man? I get that it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Come on.
Once you have kids, no, you can't do that anymore. Hey, what happened to your dad? Oh, he thought he was real clever and then died on Netflix.
I'm assuming they wouldn't have aired it. Well, I guess it was live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was. I just had to make sure. I had to make sure.
That's a weird delay button job right there.
Yeah. All right, fellas, we'll be back tomorrow.
Man.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Welcome into Open Gym here on Texas Sports Unfiltered. Myself, Patty Davis, alongside Matt Galatzan of Texas Longhorns on SI. And of course, you, the third member of Open Gym. Text line's open 512-222-9328. And of course, over there on the chat on Facebook, Twitch, X, and on YouTube. Good stuff as we get into another show today. Of course, the one day I don't put transfer portal news on our show sheet, which has been on there for the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. We have portal news listed. It's just I've left it on the show sheet every day when I send it to Matt. And then the day I take it off, because I go, all right, we've had it on there like the last 3 days and there's been nothing. The last week there hasn't really been anything. So I take it off, and of course we get a commit today. So we'll get into the new commit for Texas. Also want to talk about a little bit of repercussion. I don't know, repercussions or what has happened with the SEC in the quarterback world. What we're looking at is most likely the quarterbacks across the world of the SEC who we're going to be playing and all that next season. Get into that. Of course, it's an Overreactions Tuesday. We'll do that in hour 2 and talk some NFL as well. Another head coach hiring has happened as there's less and less jobs being available by the minute. And seemingly by how poorly run the franchise is those are the ones that are still open. But Matt, is it starting to thaw out there in Houston a little bit more? We're starting to get a little bit better.
It was never iced here, and I don't, I guess Houston kind of escaped that whole thing. It's been really freaking cold. Like it was 25 degrees when I took the dogs out this morning, but yeah, we're all good here. Never lost power, never had any ice. I'm waiting for it to get back up into the 50s and 60s, but you know what? I'm going to Mexico in a little over a week, so what I'm really looking forward to is the 80 degrees and sun in Mexico.
Yes. No, I'm with you on that. I mean, it's supposed to get back in the 60s, I think, on Thursday here. And then it'll be cold again on Saturday, but it's yeah, it's still, we've got like half of the ice has melted now here, but under trees and stuff and the way the houses are built. So I finally got to take my dog back out on the walk because before he couldn't really walk anywhere because it was, first of all, super cold, and then also was icy everywhere. So I finally got to do the walk, but you kind of got to walk, and then some sidewalks are still completely covered and other ones, so you got to walk back out in the street. The streets are all fine though. Except for a couple like that are right under trees that are hanging over. Pretty much everywhere else it seems pretty fine, at least in the neighborhood. So was happy to get back outside. I know the dog was very happy after being kind of pent up for the last 3 days to get back outside and go for at least a little bit of walk in the sun, and then hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. Yeah, and I think yesterday it got above freezing for like an hour or two, but it didn't do enough. So we got a little bit of melting last night, and the problem was if everything melted but didn't evaporate, so it just refroze. So then it was like it went from ice you could see to ice you could not see anymore, which it did. And of course on my patio and stuff, where you're just like, oh no, there's not ice right there. Whoa! Luckily, I let the dog out first, so when the dog slips, I know to be careful when I'm walking out behind him. That's use him as the decoy,
the cannon fodder.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't, knock on wood, we're still all rocking with power here. I haven't heard anybody losing stuff in Austin, at least for losing power. Maybe some people did, but I have not. So happy about that because it's been a much warmer than the last time we had a freeze, and it'll freeze again this weekend, but I don't think there's precipitation. Without precipitation, it's usually okay. It's more the knocking down power lines and all of that stuff that happened 5 years ago that was really a problem.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Oxford, Mississippi, where Ole Miss is, got hit really, really hard by the freezes. I mean, my nephew is stuck out there right now. Luckily, they have power at his dorm, but hundreds and like thousands of people there without power. It looks like a disaster zone. So a lot of people got hit hard across the South. Fortunately, it looks at least like Texas is doing pretty good, which is kind of surprising because when it comes to disaster weather, Texas is usually behind the curve in terms of like power infrastructure and all that stuff. So
we are. I think they were like overly prepared for this one, which is good. I think they were overly prepared, and then it wasn't as terrible. Because yeah, last one, the big part was it's why we called it Arborgeddon, was because it took out all the tree branches because they all had so much weight on them, and then they started to hit power lines. And so then when you start having massive fluctuations of power, that cost everything. And then it was trying to repair that. Plus the power grid was not ready for it. So there was just so many things that were going wrong last time. And I think this time we've avoided most of it to be good. And the trees did not really explode this time. But that's because a lot of it was now trimmed back more. And like the one before was, it hadn't been that way in 30 years. So you had years and years of growth of trees that should not have been able to support the amount of ice it got on it. And this time, you probably had a few, but I mean, I haven't really seen anything be over the top. I don't think we got as much accumulation on the tree branches as we got in previous times. So it didn't seem as bad as it was last time at all, where it was, I mean, the house I'm in now, I helped clean it up because they didn't clean up everything. They had done one cleanup after the freeze, and then I had moved in, and then we did the whole backyard, and we had tree branches because we just did everything. And it was from the driveway to the side of the house, like to the side of the yard, 6 feet high the entire way across. Of just like, guys, this should have been done at some point before I moved in. this is not good, you guys. But we got everything else. We did well there. Matt, as I said, we did have a acquisition today, so we should probably start off there because this is the hope of the final piece of your starting offensive line, Lawrence Seymour from Western Kentucky. There is one snag that they believe, because they've signed him, they believe will be fixed, which is this is his 6th year. So he is a 2021 player. 2021, he only played in 2 games. And then in 2023 did not play. So they're trying to get a waiver for a injury red shirt on that 2023 season to give him another year of eligibility. They believe that they will be able to get it. Apparently the waiver eligibility process has already begun. Texas is going to try and finish it up and help him out. But they feel good that he will be able to come in. If he does, Matt, tell us a little bit more about Lawrence Seymour and fill in that last spot on the offensive line for Texas.
Well, obviously the wait was a bit nerve-wracking, I think, for Texas fans in terms of what are we going to do? And I was trying to stay calm about the whole thing and keep everybody else calm. Like, being the eternal optimist that I am, they had a plan. Their original plan didn't go through. Seems like they were waiting to figure out whether or not this guy was going to be able to get eligible and play for them next season before they made a move. I don't think that they would have signed him if they weren't confident that his waiver would get approved. His agent has come out via Joe Cook of Inside Texas and said they feel confident that this thing is going to get taken care of. So we'll see where it goes. I would imagine that it's going to be fine. He's going to be able to lace him up next year with Texas. This is a huge deal, in my opinion. Second team All-American for Western Kentucky per the Pro Football Writers Association of America and Phil Steele. Second team All-Conference USA. Over 1,300 snaps at guard over his career. I believe he had over 800. Let me pull the stat up again real quick here on PFF. He had 532 pass block snaps, 840 total snaps this past season, graded out with a pass block grade of 82.6 and a run grade of 63.9. So really, really good grades there per PFF. He had, and it wasn't just against, mid competition either. One of the best games he had all season was against LSU. So that tells you that he's not afraid to go up against, the big SEC defensive lines. And LSU did have a good defense. Let's remember that. Their offense was anemic, but their defense was very, very good. And actually put together a quick, film thing for you guys if you want me to play that today, Patrick.
Sure.
I can do it tomorrow. this guy can really do it all. He's an excellent pass blocker. He moves people in the run game, which I think is a very important thing as well. One of the problems that Texas had in the run game last year was they weren't able to displace defensive linemen, move them off of the line of scrimmage, and create running lanes. He can do that very, very well. He's got quick feet. He's a little short at 6'2", but he weighs 320 pounds. He's got big boy strength. He can really, really move people with his upper body. He's got great, he's got great footwork. He moves really, really well. He's not perfect in terms of everything that you need out of a left guard. There are very few of them out there that are, but he is especially considering what has happened throughout the transfer portal thus far, and the one glaring need that Texas had in the position that they're in right now. I don't think that you could have found a better answer. I'm speaking, of course, after the Michigan guys and after the Wisconsin kid, Joe Bruner, and after some of these other guys have gone off the board. With what's still available, what you need, being able to find a day one plug-and-play starter that is an upgrade over what you had last year, this offensive line is going to be head and shoulders above what it was last season. Is it going to be national championship caliber? Before today, I probably would have said no. Today, I feel a lot better about that chance, the chance that could be the case. Now, he played his entire career at left guard with Miami and Akron and Western Kentucky. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to slot into left guard for Texas. He could be on the right side. He could be on the left side. It depends on what they want to do with Brandon Baker. Would he be more comfortable on the left side alongside Trevor Gooseby? Is he more comfortable just sliding over one spot on the right side next to Melvin Siani? Doesn't particularly matter. I think that they're going to figure that out as we go along, and we'll have better answers in terms of how this line is actually going to look. But from left to right, this offensive line has now had a massive, massive upgrade. We pretty much know who the starters are going to be, and it really completes the whole picture of what this offense could be next season. And I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely, you feel like this is a guy that, with everything still out there, checks the boxes of what you wanted to get that's still out there. You prefer somebody that doesn't have to get a waiver, but on the flip of that, this is the world of 6-year seniors and having guys that you're able to, have much, much more experience. And so he played 2 games his freshman season, missed all of 2023. That is the year they're going to basically try and get back for him. But did play in 2022, played in 2024 and 2025. So you have somebody with a lot more experience than trying to get one of these younger guys, and you're hoping that they're going to turn out to be something good. You have a much bigger sample size for him, even though it is really where, not necessarily all at the highest level. He has played some bigger games. He has been in those moments and been able to survive there. And I get he's a little undersized, but again, at this point in there, do you want somebody who's the same size, but you have to figure out and still have to teach him how to play? Or do you want somebody who's a little undersized that can go in there week one and actually go play?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that that's kind of the big point here. I know there was a lot of talk about the Indiana kid, Bray Lynch, who never actually entered the portal, and people thought, he's a Westlake kid. Obviously, that's a sign that he's going to come to Texas or whatever. And I started to look into that as well. It made sense to me. But in terms of, what he can do as a player, and his strength and his base and, his instincts and all that stuff, he's better than Bray Lynch, in my opinion. So immediate upgrade at left guard, excellent player. I think that my favorite thing about him is that it is that strength, right? Like, he doesn't get moved by bigger defensive linemen. I mean, he's short and he doesn't have the longest arms in the world, at least from what I can tell. But these big LSU defensive linemen weren't moving him around. He was pushing them off of the ball. He was moving them off the line of scrimmage and creating running lanes. So, and he's really good in pass pro. He's really good in run blocking. He doesn't get confused by stunts and twists, and he's really good at communication along the line and moving off of one guy to another and going through his progressions as an offensive lineman. So he really is a complete package in terms of what's going on in between the ears. for the most part, and he's got the physical tools for it. I think he's going to be great. But I mean, do you want me to go through this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Quick example of the film, real quick. I put this together like in the last 10 minutes, so it's going to be not as
in depth.
Not as in depth as what I usually do with my film reviews. And I guess this is going to be the last one, Patrick. So most of his reps in this game were against Jacoby and Guillory II and Dominic McKinley for LSU. Whoops, I just lost my place. Hold on. Where did I go? There we go. Can you see it on the screen?
Not yet. How about that? There we go. Nope. No, it's gone now.
Well, it's been a minute here on Open Gym since I did a film review, so we're going through it here. Okay, here we go. Is it up now?
Wait 1 second. Wait for it to go. Wait for it. There it is.
Okay. So, you can see him moving on. This is against Guillory right here. You can see him moving here to the left, and he's able to seal off the defensive tackle here and create a big lane for his running back, and they get a big gain there. And then another one here. He's lined up. I can't tell who that is right now. I think that's Guillory, but he gets his hands on him real quick. He moves him off to the left, washes him out of the play, keeps his hands locked on him, doesn't let him go. Keeps his base, keeps his spot, doesn't get pushed back, which Cole Hudson did all of the time. This is against, I believe this is Dominic McKinley right here. Again, just really good at moving people off of the ball, not allowing them to penetrate behind and get through to the quarterback, which was obviously a very big issue with Texas last season. Is Arch had very little time to throw because that left guard and center combination wasn't able to hold up in pass protection. As you can see in these screenshots here, he does a real good job of this. On this play, he kind of, moves his guy. So they're running a kind of an inside zone play to the left. He moves his guy out of the play to the right, washes him into traffic, and allows his running back to kind of get some ground there and get a decent gain. And then I think this is the pass pro. No, that's the next one. This one, he gets his hand on this defensive tackle right here, and then is able to keep his eyes up at this linebacker who eventually comes through and passes the block off to the other to the left tackle there and moves and finds some more contact and some more work over here, which you love to see the offensive lineman getting more work and not just like, okay, I got my hand on this guy, I'm going to stay put and put my hands up and let's see what happens. He's going finding more opportunity and more work on the rep, which I always love to see. And then right here we have another really good look at the same kind of deal. Takes out two guys out of the play right here with the help of his left tackle and really holds up well, pushes them out so that the running back can get some space and get downfield for a decent gain. And then this is the pass pro rep, I believe. This is my favorite rep that I watched. And I only watched a few of them, but because I put this thing together at 3:45 right before the show. But you can see right here, he just holds up incredibly well right now against this defensive lineman right here. Doesn't let him get through, doesn't let him get any space, doesn't lose any ground, and allows his quarterback a clean pocket to throw the football and get it downfield. So just a brief overview of what he's able to do against SEC caliber defensive linemen. This isn't Jacksonville State or Western Michigan or something like that. This is LSU, who had one of the best defensive lines in the country. So I think he's going to do very, very well for Texas next year for sure.
No, it's awesome. It's good to get the guy. As far as eligibility, it does. They feel good about it, and if push comes to shove, it doesn't seem like it's that hard to get a judge to give you the block now. So I think that there's a world where they'll be able to get somebody to give them the year. It feels like whether or not. Again, something that personally I'm not a huge fan of, but it is happening across college football right now. and college sports in general. I know the whole thing with the Alabama player, Bediako or whatever his name is getting crazier and crazier because they're like, the dude's an Alabama donor and he's allowed to just decide the guy plays for the team. That seems obscene, right? That seems somewhat partial, not impartial. So, the way things are going right now, it does feel like there's a better chance. I was trying to read up more information on it today before the show. It doesn't feel like there's a ton of information of what the injury would have been in 2023. That's kind of the bigger issue on most of these eligibilities, is that if it is a knee issue or if it's a back or anything like that, then you typically can get the red shirt because you missed a year. The fact that he played in 2022 and not in 2023 helps you out a little bit more in those, because if you hadn't played yet, that was a little bit more of the Trinidad Chambliss, that he hadn't really played a lot and then was saying that he missed a year that he was going to play in. So there is a little bit more, but the fact that he played before makes it a little bit easier to get the waiver extension. So there's just a number of pieces in it that make you believe that it's possible. But if it doesn't happen, you're not in a worse spot than you were than yesterday or earlier today. You're in the same spot you were in earlier today. So you just have to be able to figure it out. But he's already put in the waiver. He's trying to get it, we'll see how slow the NCAA is on these things. I mean, you would assume they would try and be quicker because of school starting and all of that, but who knows? The NCAA, for some reason, cannot make quick decisions on most things. So,
well, that's not entirely surprising. They've always been that way, and I think they will continue to be that way.
They will.
Here's another interesting thing that I found from the Western Kentucky site on Lawrence Seymour. It says that in his 1 year stint in Akron, which obviously I guess he was there for 2 years and didn't play for one of the seasons, he appeared in 7 games and started 5 at center and 2 at left guard. So he does have some center in his repertoire as well, and that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, he seems like a very interesting proposition of somebody who understandably wants that last year because how well they played in their 5th year, which would have been their 4th year playing, or actually 3rd year playing football, but 4th year non-injured, I guess, and 5th year overall. It's hard to remember these things now and figure them all out, but he kind of had the breakout year, was a second-team All-American, and all of those pieces that make you believe that he was like, oh, well, now I actually have a lot of prospects and people want to bring me back up to the level I started at. But it does feel like, I don't think they sign him if they don't believe he's going to be there and be eligible. So it does feel like they believe it. They will have their pull and everything else. I'm sure there'll be other people trying to say that he shouldn't be, but we'll have to figure it out from there. But it's you need to bring in somebody, and this is a great pickup if he's able to play.
Yeah, and let's not take out of consideration that even if he's denied the waiver, couldn't he theoretically file an injunction just like Trinidad Chambliss and Diego Pavia and all of them did? So it's going to be interesting to watch play out. I would imagine it gets done rather quickly. I don't know how long these things take, whether or not, as far as him getting approved or not, but like Patrick said, and like I said earlier, if they wouldn't have done it if they didn't feel very confident that he's going to get that extra year. So we'll see what happens.
Nope, but it's a good pickup for them to get you on that offensive line. One of my overreactions will mention the offensive line because it was written earlier today before this news came out and people were a little bit worried about it, but I think it still will work. We'll still make it work. I also wanted to get into kind of still somewhat portal oriented, but it is looking forward to next year, Matt. And I wanted to look at the quarterbacks for the SEC next season and place where we kind of see the quarterback rooms and the quarterbacks, because some of them are quarterback rooms and some of them are quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them we're not sure who the starter will be at in the SEC, and some of them we have a little bit better idea of it. And get an idea of who are these guys that we think are really top level competitors and the top guys and how far we go down. and it gives Matt another chance, before the show is over to make fun of John Mateer. So, any chance we do that, I'm a fan of doing it. But for us to go down and rank the quarterbacks or quarterback rooms in the SEC, and Matt, I don't want to start at the top because it becomes backwards if we start at the top, because there is conversation to be had about all of the rooms in the SEC, because these are guys you're going to have to play next year or be in contact with or whatever else you're going to do. And so let's start out with our number 16 and see where we believe the number 16 quarterback room. Normally, a lot of these rooms will be ranked lower than the actual quarterbacks we know will start, just because I think you think that, if we can't tell you who's going to be the quarterback, it may be a difficult place. And my number 16 is Arkansas. I don't really know what they're going to do there. I feel like it's a quarterback battle. They have KJ Jackson, who is there. They have AJ Hill, who is there. I don't, after Taylor Green, I don't really know which way they go in this Arkansas room, but it doesn't feel like any of it is necessarily going to be as good as what Taylor Green had last season. And I know you're changing coaches and all that other good stuff, but that's kind of where I have low. What's your 16, Matt?
Yeah, I think it has to be Arkansas, just because there's not, most of these SEC teams have gone out and found a new quarterback to lead their room that is pretty highly thought of at the very least. I feel like Arkansas wasn't able to get that done in the portal, and that's not entirely surprising, just because, new head coach. Arkansas is not the most desirable place to be. I believe they brought in Braden Fuller from God, what school even is that? Well, I've never seen this mascot or insignia, this logo. Angelo State. Yeah, they brought in an Angelo State quarterback. So, we'll see. Ryan Silverfield obviously still has a long ways to go in terms of rebuilding this roster. But I don't think there's any question that they're number 16 right now.
Yeah, and by the way, that is breaking news right there, CB, that Bill Belichick did not make the Hall of Fame this year. He is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's pretty surprising. He did not get the 40 out of 50 first place votes. Out of what that franchise was and that dynasty was for Bill Belichick, I get I think, because if you did this vote 3 years ago, Bill Belichick is 49 out of 50 votes gets him in as first ballot Hall of Famer 3 years ago. Yeah. And it's amazing in 3 years that he falls completely off into now he's not, because of recency bias and what he does. He's still a first ballot Hall of Famer. He still should have been in. I get that we can look back on his legacy now and say, well, a lot of this is Tom Brady, and a lot of this maybe he's not the greatest coach of all time. But I still think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I could back off of, not the greatest coach of all time in the NFL because of what we know with Tom Brady, what we know after Tom Brady, and being like, okay, well, if you don't have Tom Brady, you're not, you probably never make it to a Super Bowl. But the fact that he did and he made all of them, again, falls into ifs, ands, and buts. And I think you have to put him in the first ballot. So once again, Hall of Fames are always kind of a joke. The only Hall of Fame, I'm way off pace on this, or way off popular sentiment on this one. I like the NBA Hall of Fame. They put everybody in. They honor all these people. If you want to go see the NBA Hall of Fame, you get to see all of these great players, and everyone else really wants it to be really, really exclusive. And it's the people who decide it seem to keep people out for no real reason other than personal spite and stuff like that. And so guys get in that shouldn't be in, and guys that don't, and it just kind of makes it where in the NBA, there's a lot of guys who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame in there, but there's no one who shouldn't, there's not anybody who go, I can't believe this guy's not in the Hall of Fame in the NBA. and every other sport has tons of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get it. I'm in the minority on that one. I think the Hall of Fame should be an educational source for people to get in there instead of just stroking the ego of some guys. But I think you can't tell the story of the NFL without Bill Belichick. And that, to me, when you go, you cannot tell the story of it without this guy and what he did for the NFL for 10 years. I think you have to put in there. I get the coaching tree sucks. I get as a human being, he seems to be not the greatest. I get as a coach post Tom Brady, pretty terrible. So I get all the pieces of why they're saying he's not. But I think for the Hall of Fame, you can't go like you can't put in some, guys that had 8-year careers and put them in the Hall of Fame because the 8 years were great and then not put Bill Belichick in. Because his run when he was on top was like amazing. So I get that. I get the argument, but I would put him in first ballot. Would you put him in first ballot too, Matt?
I don't know. I mean, one of the greatest coaches of all time. Seems like if he hadn't had Tom Brady, he wouldn't have been shit. So I don't know. I don't particularly care if he gets in or not. I don't like him. I think he's vastly overrated as a head coach. But just based off of sheer accomplishment, I think he deserves to get in eventually. So maybe not first ballot, but he should get in eventually.
No, he will. And he will definitely get in. I'm sure some people just didn't want to put him in first team, first one and keep that so exclusive and everything else. I don't think he's the greatest coach in NFL history, but I do think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Again, just put it on, like, if you're going to rank everybody else on their career, then I go, like, yeah, not on that. His NFL career was fine. He had a couple bad years at the end where a lot of coaches did. You can't judge him on dating a younger woman now and coaching at North Carolina because that's not really his NFL record. So I'm sure he just pissed off a few people, and that's why they didn't do it. It's, we've seen that stuff happen plenty of time in sports where whoever's in the voting committee gets mad. But let's get back to what we're doing, ranking the rooms. We had Arkansas at our number 16. It's a little difficult down here. Who'd you have at your number 15 spot there, Matt, for the number 15 room or quarterback here in the SEC next season?
I'm still kind of going through my ranking here a little bit, but I think the one that kind of stuck out to me the most for 15 was Florida. Just because I don't really know what you have in Aaron Philo. He was a backup at Georgia Tech, and he's going to be battling for the starting job with Trammell Jones, who is another backup. So you just don't know what you're going to get out of them because neither of them have a ton of starting reps behind them, and it's very much of an unknown. I know that Aaron Philo was very highly thought of in terms of portal rankings, so maybe he's going to end up being pretty good, but just because I don't know really much about what either of them can do on the field, I had to slide them in at 15.
Okay, yeah, the big piece with Philo that we look at is that he is coming over with the Georgia Tech offensive coordinator, Buster Faulkner.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of your big that he could do better because he was part of the system. Now, Haynes King was the guy running it last year. And when I say running it, I mean running it. Not just not throwing it, but running it, Haynes King. So we'll see how much this offense works in the SEC with maybe a quarterback in Aaron Philo that is not going to run the whole time. I'm with you. He is extremely unproven. He couldn't get ahead of Haynes King. He couldn't really start for Georgia Tech. So now in the SEC at Florida in the first year of Summerall, is he going to be able to take over that position? So we can put Florida at number 15. At 14, I have Mississippi State and Camario Taylor. I'm
a lot higher on him than you are.
You're higher on Camario Taylor. I'm not as high on Camario Taylor. I think he's a good athlete. I think he can do a few things. But I'm not sold on Mississippi State being anything special. I'm not sold on any. So I'm like, I'm putting him in an offense where I go, the best case scenario for you is to be a good quarterback, but there's no real high ceiling for Camario Taylor. I'm also not the biggest Jeff Lebby guy in the world, which kind of lowers him a little bit in my book as well, because it's what he can end up doing with that. So I'm not saying he may have the least talent. I just don't see him being anything wildly special in his first year starting for the Mississippi State. I think, he made good decisions with the football. But yeah, and Randy, I'm with you. This feels like he's going to have a lot of struggles. Maybe by the end of the year, he'd be better, but it just feels like it's going to be a lot of struggles to get through when you're playing on the Mississippi State roster.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's going to have to get some help from his receivers and his offensive line and all that stuff. But he does make really good decisions with the football. I mean, he's got to work on his accuracy a little bit. He completed 55.8% of his passes. He had 5 touchdowns and a pick. He also ran for 450 yards. So, I mean, he only started 2 games last year. I think he started against Ole Miss, or at least he came in early in that game against Ole Miss, and then he started against Wake Forest. I just think that the talent, the body type, the tools are all really, really good. So, I mean, I've got Mississippi State up at 12.
Okay.
But, that's just a difference of a couple of spots. So if you want to meet in the middle and say 13 or leave them at 14.
Yeah, no, we can go. I mean, who do you have next on your list then?
For me, it's Tennessee.
Okay.
Just kind of for some of the same reasons that you have with Camario Taylor. Like, George McIntyre is probably going to be their starter. He was a true freshman last year, played in just 2 games. If they were able to get back, the name escapes me for the quarterback that Joey Aguilar. If they were able to get him back, then they would be much higher on this list. But he's played in 2 games, so I don't know if he's going to be ready or not. Really young kid, super talented, but
yes,
it's more of a running based system anyway at Tennessee for the most part. I don't know. I think it's going to take him a year or 2 before he's able to kind of, be an elite quarterback in the SEC, but he's got all the tools to do it.
Yeah, and I'll go. And again, the reason why I have Tennessee just a little bit higher than Mississippi State is because I trust Josh Heupel a lot more than I trust Jeff Levy.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's like seeing what he did with Joey Aguilar, that, you're able to basically trade with UCLA, and we see him make the quarterback much better in Tennessee. So I'm fine for moving wherever, because I agree with you. The quarterback room itself, where it's probably George McIntyre. It could be Joey Aguilar. They're trying to get him back, but it doesn't look likely that's going to happen. But I'm with you on it, though, that it does feel like these are both rooms that you're like, there's no experience in these rooms. And if Joey Aguilar comes back, he's clearly higher. But without that, there's no experience. You're hoping that something works right. And both these guys could easily be benched by week 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just go, oh, your accuracy is so bad, and you're missing guys. So that may be the case. Let me ask you, are you next in this one with Jared Curtis on the next one, or do you have him a little bit higher?
I had him in between Mississippi State and Tennessee.
Okay.
So I'm fine putting Tennessee 14, Mississippi State 13, and then Vanderbilt. Jared Curtis is just amazing, dude. He's so good. I know I've talked a lot about experience with these last 2 guys, and he's got zilch because he's going to be a true freshman. But this is the number 1 recruit in the country. The only quarterback that, I think can come in as a true freshman and be a viable starter in the SEC. So, Diabell is in my opinion going to eventually be every bit as good as Jared Curtis. But right now, Jared Curtis, I think, is just, this is the biggest recruiting win in the history of Vanderbilt. If he doesn't start and play well, then he's gone. He's going to be gone immediately. He'll probably, I'd be shocked if he finished his career at Vanderbilt, considering the money that's going to get thrown at this kid throughout his career in the portal. But I think the sky's the limit. He's going to be so good. And I think this is like eventual number 1 NFL draft pick type potential. So I'm a little high on him.
No, I get it, man. When you steal a top recruit from Georgia, you bring him in, what they're hoping to be able to do with him in his freshman year. I get he goes to Vanderbilt because he's like, I'm not playing behind Gunnar Stockton, and Kirby may want to wait 2-3 years before he plays me. and he's going to want to develop me. And I don't want that because I want to make a lot more money, and I'll make a lot more money if I go to Vanderbilt and they put enough program around me that I have that. Then either they're going to pay me, $5-10 million next year and give me a big contract, or someone else is. So I'm going to be able to make, by the time, like, this is the type of guy, Jared Curtis is the type of guy that if he wants to be it, could be a $20-25 million in college player easily.
Yeah.
Which is nuts to say that a quarterback could be like, yeah, because he plays 3 years, 4 years, and just makes, a lot of money every single year. So but yeah, I still, being that he is a true freshman, drops him a little bit lower on a list in a really, really tough conference. So yeah, I have him. It just makes it a little bit more difficult once we get in there. Who is your
24/7? Sorry, just real quick. 24/7 comped him to Jay Cutler, which tells you the kind of like tools this guy had. Like if Jay Cutler could have just like cleared things up upstairs, he probably would have been a Hall of Famer. So I mean, this guy's going to be great.
All right. Who do you have at number 11 then?
I went with Oklahoma at number 11.
Okay, I put him up a little bit higher because of his experience, because they have Tim Beck there still, or not Tim Arbuckle there still. So I still have a little bit more respect for him, that I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be better than he was this year.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, I have a couple of other guys that I put below him. So here's the two names I put below him. And we'll go through, this is 11 and 10, and then we'll figure out if John Mateer will be better or worse than those two guys. I have Kenny Minchie, who I'm excited to see what he does at Kentucky. Coming in there with Will Stein is a really interesting piece to see if he's really going to be able to be, a top guy. He's a Notre Dame guy that transfers in. He's kind of handpicked by Will Stein. If this is the guy he wanted to bring in, he brought in a lot of extra pieces around him. But in year one of Kentucky, I'm a little bit more worried about everything going perfectly to plan for Will Stein. And we just don't really, again, Minchie's not he was going to go to Nebraska. He's in that tier of a good quarterback, but very unproven. Can Will Stein get him to that next level? And the other one I put in there is Lenore Sellers. I was really high on him last year. He just didn't do a ton last year. He did arguably worse than John Mateer last year. And I think they both improve. He arguably did worse than John Mateer did last year. So I will put him. I know the team was worse, but I'm just saying, if we're looking at the two and going, I like Lenore Sellers a lot, and I'm not a huge John Mateer guy, but if we're just going like on what they could do and with their talent around them and everything else, Lenore Sellers last year, I had to knock him down pretty low because, boy, howdy, did we have him. We had him really high in our preseason stuff, and he really made us look like a fool.
Well, part of that was because of absolutely horrendous offensive line play and a terrible offensive coordinator. Yes. So I have him much, much, much higher on my list. I'll get to that, I guess, in a little bit. But here's why I have John Mateer at 11 first. He makes horrible decisions with the football.
Yeah.
And I've said this before. He's like the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man from Family Guy. Like if you watch him play a game, one play he'll make an unbelievable throw where you're like, holy crap, this guy's going to be a superstar. And then the next 5 throws he makes, you're like, how is this guy playing college football? So I think he will get better. I think that Texas fans should probably be really excited that he's coming back to Oklahoma next year. I'll tell you that. But at the end of the day, I don't like Oklahoma's weapons as much as I like what South Carolina has assembled for Lenore Sellers, and they've improved their offensive line a lot. And Oklahoma hasn't really done those things. Like Parker Livingston is probably going to be their number 2 wide receiver, and he would have been the number 5 wide receiver on Texas next year. So that should kind of tell you where he stands in terms of that hierarchy. And then I have a personal affinity for Kenny Minchie because he reminds me a lot of Sam Ehlinger. he's kind of a dual threat guy, and he's really tough. And I just think he's going to be very, very good in that Will Stein system. So I'm willing to make a concession here. We can put Kenny Minchie in Kentucky at 11, but I'm not putting John Mateer any higher than 10.
You just want to give him his number.
Yes, fine, sure. He's a bottom half SEC quarterback.
I mean, 9 is still a bottom half SEC quarterback, by the way.
Yeah, but Lenore Sellers is just better than him in every way when he's got time to throw.
I want to believe that. I don't anymore, but I want to. Remember, this is the Lenore Sellers who got a big lead on A&M and then blew all of it. Just couldn't keep the ball enough to beat A&M. And
he was running for his life all day.
I get it. Run forward. Run forward.
Okay. I've got him all the way up at number 5. So
that's insane. That is insane to have him at number 5.
And I had Kenny Minchie all the way up at number 7. So
I like the Minchie one is more of a shot. I'm just like, Lenore Sellers was not good last year, and I get the team was not, but I don't think the team is better this year. Like, it's one thing if
it's much better.
I don't think the team's like, oh my God, they're so much better this year than they were last year. I think they're going to be a little bit better. I don't know if they're going to be that much better that we look at them and go, oh my God, these guys are world beaters now. I think that they're going to be roughly the same. Unfortunately, I've lost all my faith in them now. I've lost my faith. So I will say who I have next on my list is Austin Simmons in Missouri, who we don't fully know if Austin Simmons has the job. Technically, he could end up somewhere, as a backup in there. They also have Matt Zellers, who is somebody coming in there as a true freshman. You figure it's Austin Simmons. This is the guy that, again, a year ago was supposed to be the dude at Ole Miss. And, he gets injured and Trinidad Chambliss plays better. It wasn't necessarily that Austin Simmons was completely terrible when he was playing. It was just Trinidad Chambliss was really, really good. So I don't think Austin Simmons is an elite quarterback. But you say you get another year of experience being on a really good team. He was a really good teammate to Ole Miss, even though he did get replaced. Didn't seem to cause the stink that some people may cause. So I like Austin Simmons there as well. I think you can move him up a little bit higher. There's one more team. There's one more team on here that doesn't have a definitive answer at quarterback. And so you could put them lower. I just think they're going to have a better outcome at it. But I think Austin Simmons is going to have a pretty good year. I just don't think he's going to be, I think I don't think there's going to be any point of the season where we're like, man, Austin Simmons has got, he could be a top level quarterback. I don't know if that's going to happen next year.
Well, I think the things that he has working to his advantage is, number one, he's got the best running back in the SEC.
Yep.
In Ahmad Hardy, which is huge. It's a very quarterback friendly system with Eli Drinkwitz, and one of the top receivers from Ole Miss is coming over to play with him at Missouri. So he's going to have a lot of familiarity with Caden Lee, even though I hated watching him play football because I thought every time he got tackled, he was going to break in half because he's so small. But I think he's going to have the weapons around him. I think he's going to have the coaching. So, but I had him right around 9 and 10, just because I'm super high on the next team on my list that, just gave him the edge over Missouri.
All right. What's your next team then?
Alabama.
That's all right.
This is the last team for me that has a little bit of a question mark at the quarterback position. Austin Mack came in against Indiana and looked pretty good on considering what he was dealing with.
Yep.
But I don't think he's going to be the starter next year. I think Keelan Russell is going to be your starter. He was unbelievable as a Texas high school quarterback, one of the best I have ever seen. He's super athletic. He's got all the tools in the world. And I think that within a couple of years, he could be a Heisman contender type talent. So I'm almost as high on him as I am on Jared Curtis. I just don't think he has the arm talent that Jared Curtis has, but he's unbelievable. So I think he's going to thrive with Kalen DeBoer's offense and the receivers that they're going to have there. And they're going to be real good.
Yeah,
he's much better than Milroe.
But I think Keelan Russell is the interesting one here because Austin Mack does play well, and depending on where they go, but this is the part for Alabama that makes this difficult to play Keelan Russell. Is Kalen DeBoer understands there cannot be growing pains at any point for Alabama. So if Keelan Russell struggles, Austin Mack has to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like there cannot be growing pains. Because he's already on thin ice because he's already won 3 championships in Alabama. You haven't won 3 championships. Get on out of here. So I think that like he's the better choice. And in basically 90% of college campuses, Keelan Russell's the easy choice at quarterback. But there may be the point of, well, he's still a little rough around the edges, and if he costs us a game, I'm fired.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't not make the playoffs or else I'm fired.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was 5-star quarterback, number 2 quarterback in the country, helped Duncanville win a state title. 24/7 Sports compares him to Jaden Daniels. So that should tell you a little bit. He threw for over 4,000 yards and 55 touchdowns in 2024. Also ran for 318 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he like, and doing that at Duncanville also is crazy. Like that kind of production at Duncanville is crazy.
Yes. All right. I've got another guy next here, which I believe we're at 5. We're at 6 or 7, depending on where you're putting Lenora Sellers. I got Marcel Reed next.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
We saw him have a really good start of the season, and then things started to fall apart once people found out what he did more and more. It's still his job. He had a good enough season last year that I don't want to say that he can't have a pretty good season again this year, but it does feel like in those clutch moments, he's going to have to figure some things out because right now he's not playing at a high enough level in those clutch moments to warrant being much higher on this list. Where I don't think you look at Marcel Reed and his performance at the end of last season and think that guy's going to be elite, or you think that guy's going to be a good player, and like he's going to get better and better, but not where you looked at him and goes, this guy could beat anyone in the SEC. I don't know if I feel that way about him. I didn't going into last year. I think he played better and better and fit into the system. And then you had games where he played really bad for a quarter or played really bad for a half and then turned it all around and won the game and just kept winning. And then that winning disappeared by the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, even in the biggest game of the season for them that they were able to win, Notre Dame, his numbers in terms of passing yards were elite, but he completed like 40-something% of his passes. He's just not an accurate quarterback right now. I thought he cleaned up a lot from year 1 to year 2, but he still has some accuracy issues. He overthrows guys like 10 feet over their head sometimes, makes some poor decisions with the football, turns it over a little bit too much. And I don't think that they did him enough favors in terms of, well, I guess you could kind of look at it 2 different ways. So losing your offensive coordinator who runs a system who's tailor-made for your quarterback sucks. And they promoted from within to and gave him a quarterback who's never called, or an offensive coordinator who's never called plays before.
Yeah.
So you can look at it one way and say, well, this is a Nick Caley thing. And he, like, Holman Wiggins isn't going to know what he's doing. He's going to make bad decisions calling plays. Or you could look at it the other way and say, well, he's going to run almost an identical system and it's going to be super familiar and all this stuff. They did get him some good weapons on the outside. They went and got him the Alabama wide receiver after they lost out on Cam Coleman because he wanted to go to a better school. But he's going to have to prove it to me. I don't think that he should be considered a Heisman candidate next year until he proves it. And I thought that was a little premature this year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, now we're starting to get into guys that are thought of very highly all these next few guys are being thought of, and you'll start to see people. I don't know if they'll say they're top guys, but some of these guys believe you'll find people that believe they're top 3, top 2 guys in the SEC. Who do you have next on your list there, Matt, as your next quarterback?
I got Byron Brown at
Okay.
Auburn. I thought he was really, really good at USF last year. One of the most productive quarterbacks in the country, honestly. And he's going to follow Alex Golish. They're bringing over a bunch of guys from USF. So it's going to be very familiar for him. He's going to have a better defense on the other side with Auburn than he had last year at USF. He's going to have some really good pieces around him. So I think he's going to have a really good year. He could surprise a lot of people. He's got tons of athleticism, tons of arm talent. And, Auburn might actually have a decent team next year now that Hugh Freeze is gone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think you could be even higher on Byron Brown if you want to be. It is always to step up, from USF to playing in the SEC every week is a different level. Play Power 4 every week. But he is a beast. He's 6'3", 230, like a big dude who's hard to take down, can get the ball downfield in a comfortable system with a lot of people he knows and coaches he knows. He's got plenty of experience as well. So he has all the potential to be a really breakout player this season, but there is still a little bit more of, I have to see you play at that level week after week and show the consistency before you can get in that top level, because, how much of those yards and completions were because of lesser competition? Can you fit it in when you play really top tier defenses? When the pressure gets more and more, are you going to be able to continue to make your reads and throw downfield? I think those are all questions that are fair to ask. And honestly, he is the first guy on this list where you go, oh no, he could be a Heisman candidate by the end of the year. It's completely feasible that he just has a breakout year at Auburn and starts to play really good competition. Everybody sees what he does. It's also believable that they're, a 5-loss team or 4 or 5-loss team. And, he has some struggles throughout the season because either the pressure was there or something. He just plays hard teams. They're both pretty believable scenarios.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked at Auburn's schedule, but there's no easy road in the SEC. So he's going to have to prove it. But I feel really good about his chances for sure.
All right. After that, do you go, because I think there's only 2 more options here. Are you going Sam Leavitt? Are you going Gunnar Stockton here?
Well, originally when I wrote this down, I had I had Gunnar Stockton, but I think I'm going to go Sam Leavitt just because Gunnar Stockton is better than Sam Leavitt. I know that LSU brought in another 5-star behind him, which was where I had my, my thoughts here was like, I really like LSU's backup a lot. So if we're talking quarterback rooms, maybe the LSU room is better overall, but in terms of starters, I think Gunnar Stockton's better. So I'm going to go Sam Leavitt at the next one, and then Gunnar Stockton after him.
Gunnar Stockton, we know what he can do. But Sam Leavitt, I'm interested to see him, of course, with Lane Kiffin in this LSU team. We've seen Lane Kiffin put together a very portal heavy offense multiple times. It's just really hard to do it in year one. Like, it's really, really hard to bring in all these faces, come into a place that had zero culture or anything going on with Brian Kelly, and things were not going well, trying to reestablish all of this with a Sam Leavitt who's coming in with his own baggage. And, it just feels like this is probably not going to be a year one, oh my God, let's how it goes. I think they're going to be really, really good. But I don't know if everyone's going to be able to come in and make it all work together in year one to the extent of every single week in the SEC playing against those guys. I'm with you that I think it's going to be a question of, can Leavitt fit into a system more, or was he the guy who had a really good wide receiver in Jordan Tyson and just kind of had to throw it up to guy, and without Tyson can he still really put up those insane numbers? Because he had Scadaboo in the game against us, who really did everything. I mean, Scadaboo threw the best pass of the game, most important pass of that game. Is Cam Scadaboo throwing it right against Texas? So if we're like, it just feels like, I don't know. I think leave it behind Gunnar Stockton, who is Gunnar Stockton. I feel is much more of just a winner. Just comes out, plays well, does what he's supposed to do week in and week out. There wasn't really a point I think we saw Gunnar Stockton waver. You know what I mean? I don't think we ever saw him not be Gunnar Stockton and everything happened. Maybe the run game wasn't there or some other pieces, but he was just kind of consistently what he does. Put another year of that in there, another year of everyone being behind him, getting more comfortable in the system and playing the starting role. And as long as he stays healthy, I think Gunnar Stockton's going to have another really, really good year. And he may not be all elite or everything else, but that's never really what Georgia's had to have at quarterback. Just need that warrior who's going to come out every time and just go play good football.
Yeah, he's the 2026 version of Sam Ehlinger is what he is.
Yeah.
Very, very, very similar skill set. Not quite as athletically gifted, but same kind of player, like same kind of toughness and leadership and, never faltering in the face of adversity type player. So I think he's going to be really, really good. And Randy, that's my thing about Leave It. Lane Kiffin had his choices at quarterback, and he picked Leave It. I think if Bryce Underwood would have come out, he probably would have taken Bryce Underwood. But as much as I hate Lane Kiffin and want him to fail miserably in a pit of disaster, he's one of the top 2 or 3 coaches in the country when it comes to making things work for his quarterback, no matter who's under center. So it's going to be very friendly to Sam Leave It. He's going to build that system around him and make him successful. And so I think it's going to work out for him, unfortunately.
So that leaves us with our final 2. These are kind of the easy number 1 and number 2. And it depends on whether we want to say who's number 1 and number 2. Matt, I will make this be your hard decision. Who is your number 1 and number 2 in the SEC next season? Because, look, the names are Arch Manning and Trinidad Chambliss. Those are the 2 names. Everyone knows they're top. Everyone on 3 put out their way too early All-Americans. They had Trinidad Chambliss on that list as the All-American quarterback. Who do you got, Matt? Who are you going to buy? Are you going to back your alma mater or the team that you cover?
Well, okay. This was hard for me because these were my top 2 as well.
Gotta be.
Here's my argument for Trinidad, or my argument for Trinidad before today was he's just got more protection, right? Like I didn't feel as good about the Texas offensive line as I do today.
Yes.
So that kind of changes how I feel about this whole thing. Like Trinidad has all the weapons in the world. He's going to have a really good offensive line, probably a better offensive line. He's getting his running game. It's going to be a better running game than it was last year. All of the things are going to be going well for him. The problem is Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
So how is that going to affect what they do offensively? How similar is it going to be? Is the play calling going to be as crisp and creative as it was a year ago? I'm not sure about that. And now with Texas bringing in Lawrence Seymour and getting Cam Coleman and Melvin Siani and the 2 new running backs and all that stuff, I've got Arch number 1. I've got Trinidad number 2. They're going to play in the SEC championship. They're going to play in the national championship, and one of them is going to win the Heisman. But it's close.
I mean, they're playing in the regular season too, right?
Yeah, they're going to play 3 times next year.
There you go. All right, so 3 times next year. It's gonna be like the Georgia rivalry, but new with Ole Miss. Now it's all.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, I have Arch ahead too because look, we're a Texas show. So I'm all about Trinidad Chambliss. I think he's a hell of a player. I think he's done great stuff there. But I'm with you. There's a lot of changes that are happening there at Ole Miss, and I think the continuity, the addition of Cam Coleman, to Texas as well. Now you say they have an offensive line that you feel a little bit more comfortable with in there. It feels like there's a couple more pieces of things going right for Arch Manning to come back for another year, whereas Ole Miss, there may be a little bit more of a struggle. Plus, we look at Ole Miss's schedule next year, and it is just tougher than this year's schedule was. So he's going to have to get through that entire year as well. But I think there's no doubt they're 1 and 2. You could put them at 1A and 1B if you really wanted to. It doesn't feel like there's necessarily a wrong answer between who is 1 and who is 1B at this point, because they're both really going to be good quarterbacks. And not to overput expectations on Arch Manning this early into it, but it does feel like, what he was figuring out at the end of last year and then adding in some weapons, trying to get the offensive line fixed. I think there's still going to be a certain amount of growing pains of Sark calibrating the play calling, because you still aren't going to be able to walk in. This still isn't a Sark roster that he can walk in and go, I can do whatever the hell I want. Like, this still isn't that Alabama roster where there was just so stacked talent-wise that you could throw for 4,000 yards and still have a leading rusher in the SEC. I don't think it has necessarily that kind of too deep offensive line and running back room and all of that stuff, but it's still going to be what Arch learned this year of playing, having the offseason. I'm just really high on it still. Was high on it last year, we're high on it this year, shockingly.
Look, if you guys thought the expectations were out of control last year,
oof,
just wait.
Oof.
It's going to be banana balls. And I, for one, am sad that I'm not going to be here on Texas Sports Unfiltered trying to keep everybody calm. But,
yep.
We'll see.
You'll be doing it somewhere else. You'll be trying to, or trolling somewhere. We'll see.
We're going to figure something out. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Arch has the best single season passing numbers that we have ever seen at Texas.
Very believable. Very possible. Let's take a break real quick, Matt. Thank our great sponsors that have kept Texas Sports Unfiltered alive for as long as it has. We'll give them a shout out. We'll come back, get into some overreactions. If you guys in the chat have any overreactions you want to throw in, college football, college basketball, NFL, anything else you want to throw in, any overreactions, throw those in the chat, throw those on the text line. We'll come back in 2.5 minutes, get to those, and continue on here on Open Gym on Texas Sports Unfiltered.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations, and all of us at Audiovisual would like to wish you and your family a happy holiday season. This time of year can get a little hectic, so we want to remind you to relax, enjoy the season with your family and friends, and give us a call at 512-255-8678 for all of your home entertainment needs. This is my favorite time of the year. I love the holidays, the music, the decorations, the presents, the whole darn thing. So this year I'm asking all you listeners to help make this a special holiday for everyone. Smiles are contagious and free, so let's give them away like the government gives away your money. Let's high-five strangers on the street, hold the door for people behind us, tip your servers more than they've ever been tipped before. Give to a charity, or hell, give to a bunch of charities. If someone does a good job, tell them they did a good job. Pat someone on the butt. Sing in public places just because it feels good. And as always, hug your kids until they beg you to stop. Watch some games with your friends and make love to your wife or your husband. I know there's some women listening too. You can still give us a call at 512-255-8678 if you'd like to get some cool electronics, but more importantly, have a great holiday season and a fucking awesome next year.
You see covert everywhere. It's that personal level of just feeling like it's a personal family interaction.
The customer service, it's impeccable. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced buying a car.
Over the 30 years that I've been buying cars from them, I feel like I know them and they know me.
Covert's done an amazing job of making me feel valued. If you purchase a vehicle and you want to feel like you're part of a family, join the Covert family.
Come and experience it for yourself.
Covert, born and raised in Austin.
BK here for Olipop. Man, this stuff is the game changer of all game changers. Their slogan is a new kind of soda, and that's exactly what it is. You get that same great soda taste, but Olipop is actually good for you. Inside of every can, a blend of 7 unique botanicals, plant fibers, and prebiotics. You're getting 9 grams of fiber in every can, only 2 to 5 grams of sugar, and man, the flavor is absolutely there. Classic soda flavors like cola, root beer, lemon lime, and Dr. Goodwin. That's their version of a Dr. Pepper. And some other great flavors as well. The grape, the cream soda, the cherry cola. It's all fantastic. I'm telling y'all, Olipop tastes just like the soda you grew up sipping, but with the added benefits of microbiome and digestive health support as well. Pick up Olipop at H-E-B, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, and Costco all throughout the Austin area and the state of Texas. And head over to drinkolipop.com. Use the promo code Texas20 for a discount on your first purchase. It's Olipop, a new kind of soda.
Welcome back to Open Gym here on Texas Sports Unfiltered. Myself, Patrick Davis, alongside Matt Galatzan of Texas Longhorns on SI. And, of course, you, the third member of Open Gym. Text line's open, 512-222-9328. And, of course, over there on the chat on Facebook, Twitch, X, and on YouTube. It is going to be, remember, if you want to join in here, for our overreactions on a Tuesday, throw those in the text line, throw those in the chat, or you can play along with us as well as we get into those in just a minute. My man Chan on the text line says, no way both of you should list Arch as the top QB in the SEC. No homerism allowed. We're not homers, man. We're just telling you like it is. Arch is the man. Look, Trinidad Chambliss is going to be really good too. I don't think, outside of that, we're not going to put anybody else in there. Sam Leavitt or Gunnar Stockton or Brown or any of those guys are not really. They're not up in that one area.
I think that you can make an argument for Gunnar Stockton, Trinidad Chambliss, or Arch Manning. I don't think you can make an argument for any other quarterback in the SEC.
Okay.
I think that in terms of the pieces around them, what they did in the transfer portal, what their ceiling is, I think that it's down to, even if I had no bias whatsoever between either of these two teams, it would be down to Arch Manning and Trinidad Chambliss. So you can go either way with them, but I mean, we're not the only people saying this.
No, we're not. And Randy, we're just talking SEC. So no one at Oregon or the Big Ten or Julian Sayin or any of those guys don't factor in because SEC.
Even if you wanted to expand it out into the entire college football hemisphere, Arch and Trinidad are still in the top 4.
Yeah, exactly. It opens up the conversation for other guys to be in that conversation, like a Dante Moore or a Julian Sayin or some guys like that. But I think SEC wise, we can say it's those two. I think Gunnar Stockton has a lot of attributes that put him up to be like that guy's going to be a great college quarterback. But I don't know how much. Like the line for me in that one is I don't know how much the NFL is looking at him thinking that guy's going to be a great NFL quarterback.
Be a great NFL backup.
Yeah, and that's the difference where they, Arch and Trinidad are both thought of as guys that could have really bright futures. And Bill Belichick did not get the votes to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I still say I think even if you look at it and say he is Robin to Tom Brady's Batman, the run they had still makes him a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like he still is like defensive coordinator alone of what those defenses were for the Patriots. Super, super good. So I still have him on there. I would have put him in. My guess is it has to do with politics that either I might if I had to really guess, Robert Kraft just pulled some strings and told everybody not to vote for him. That would be my guess. Is Robert Kraft was like, yeah, that guy, I don't like him. He doesn't like me. So don't vote for him. Because I want him to know that as a billionaire, I own him. And he does not exist as a human being because I'm a rich person and I am not a really good person. Allowed rampant cheating under my organization. Rampant cheating.
Yeah, I mean he's a lion sketchball. So I'm not going to knock his accomplishments. I think he did great things. I just think that he is insanely overrated because if Tom Brady wasn't his quarterback, I don't think he would ever win a Super Bowl.
No, I don't think he would have either. But yeah, that is what it's going to be. It's what it's going to be. A bunch of new coaches in the NFL as well. We'll kind of get into that here in an hour or two. Some of the hirings that have gone down. Another one hired today. But let's hit our overreactions, Matt, where every week on Tuesday, I will give you some more reactions that I have read, seen, heard, or just made up. And you will tell me, and we will discuss if they are their overreactions or warranted takes as we get into it. And we'll start off here with some college football. Number one, Texas offensive line will be the biggest point of scrutiny and story of this Texas Longhorns football team until they prove themselves.
Not anymore, I don't think.
I think they still are. I think it's still blatantly that until they go out and play good football, I think they have a much better shot to do it.
Yeah.
But because in this overreaction, I am not saying that they are a bad offensive line. I'm saying that it doesn't matter what happens, that basically until everybody sees it out on the field, that everyone's going to, because a lot of people believe it's Kyle Flood. A lot of people believe that, they're not going to be as fond of what the guys are. I do think that, I think people feel more comfortable with Will Muschamp in the defense right now. I think the running game maybe would be the other point that people are a little bit scared about and having scrutiny until it works, but they're going to blame that on the O-line unless they can get going. I think this one is on. But yes, it did change a little bit because before today, then it was, oh God, we don't know who you're going to play at offensive line. Now it feels like there's somebody there. I get there is eligibility issues that they feel will get worked out, but Lawrence Seymour, they feel a little bit better about.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I get that it's still the position that everybody's questioning a little bit based on what happened last year, but I don't want recency bias to affect the way people are going to look into next year. And that's just a natural thing. I'm not, there's nothing you can do about that. But I legitimately believe that they've upgraded from right to left all the way across. Every position is going to be better. And does that make it still the weakest position of the group of all of the position groups? Maybe, but I think that, heading into today, you could have graded all of the position groups based on where they're standing after the transfer portal. I think I would have gone A quarterback, A running back, A wide receiver, B plus tight end, and like C minus at offensive line. Now I give offensive line a solid B.
Okay.
So it's really straightforward across the board. And I just don't really think you have any questions on defense either. So
yeah, I mean, I think there's questions on defense, but I feel much more confident about the staff that's there right now that they're going to be able to turn it around. And Magic Man here, Matt, has told you got to bring out the fine bourbon for the finale there.
I can do
that. All right. Next overreaction with tampering an all-time high, player contracts will now have buyouts involved going forward.
I think they already do, don't they?
I don't think they all do. I think they will all. They're saying they will all have buyouts, that they're basically going to structure all contracts more like coaching contracts and more in the world of, we want to sign you for a 2-year deal with this money, and if you leave, you owe us X amount of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things that they're going to have to do in order to straighten this whole thing out. So if they don't, then it's going to be even crazier next year than it was last year. So surely they're going to find some ways to make it harder for kids to leave. And I think that a buyout would be a good kind of middle ground for that until they figure it out completely.
Yeah, I mean, that it's, you just have to start adding in the penalty for the kids to leave, and the penalty is the buyout. Now, granted, if someone else wants to pay it, that's one thing, but for you to just hit the transfer portal itself is going to have to hit a buyout. So you're going to have to pay out of your own pocket to hit the transfer portal, I think, going forward. And that will just, for people who don't feel like they've got something lined up and they're going to make more money, may just say, you know what? I don't want to test it as much. I'll wait and figure what's happening. All right. How about this one? This is a little bit of a run back to what Stephen and I were talking about last week while you were out. The SEC will have 3 different teams in the playoff next year. So I'm not saying that they will have none of the same teams in, but I'm saying 3 teams in the SEC who did not make it last year will make it into this year's playoff.
Yeah, probably. I don't think Alabama is going to be back. I don't think Oklahoma is going to be back. Georgia and Ole Miss, I think, will. I think Texas will be in there. I think LSU has a chance to get in. And call me crazy, Patrick, but I think that Auburn could be the surprise team of the SEC next year, and I think they have an outside shot to do it.
They do. I mean, we have to look at it because this is where we look at it, and this is where the conversation comes from, because we didn't talk about the new teams in. We talked about the teams that were out and who would return. And so if you say this year was Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and A&M, 5 teams in from the SEC. And we said Oklahoma's probably not back, Alabama's probably not back, A&M may not be back. So now that's 2 teams that you could leave in with Georgia and Ole Miss. If you want to get back to 5 again, that would mean 3 new teams would get in if those 3 were out. And if those 3 are out, then you figure Texas won, LSU has another, front row seat to get there. Outside of that, it could be more difficult. That's why I put it at 3 instead of 2, because I think 2 is a pretty easy bet. I think 3 is a little bit harder. 3 might be an overreaction. 2, I don't believe is an overreaction.
Yeah, I just, I think it's going to be hard. Let me put it this way. I think it's going to be hard to get 6 in.
Yes.
And I do think that Texas A&M has a good shot to get back because I don't think their schedule's that bad next year.
No, and that's, look, what we realized this year is we didn't know what the schedules were, because there was like Oklahoma's schedule at the end of the year, and there was injuries, and it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, where we were like, it's a gauntlet at the end. And then Bo Pribula breaks his foot. And you go, well, that's no longer a gauntlet now. And now you're kind of losing. And Florida wasn't as good as we thought. And I know they beat us, so everybody can make that joke, but they were not as good. So Florida was a team that we thought was going to be tough for people at the end of their schedule. And so it depends on what these teams. LSU is a perfect example of a team that we thought was going to be good. But I think 3 might be an overreaction. I think 2 is not an overreaction at all, that 2 different teams will be in the playoffs next year. All right, one more college football one here, because we also did not discuss this. They made the playoff auto bids worse to make us allow more teams in the 2027 year of our 2028 or whatever year we'll call it of college football, because they have now said that they're keeping it at 12 for next year. However, now the Power 4 teams all get a auto bid. So basically, Miami would have been out, because Notre Dame gets in at 12. You still have the Power 5 qualifier, I believe, that is still in there. And then Miami would have been in. So Miami would have taken the spot of Tulane, but Notre Dame would have taken the spot of Miami.
Yeah. What's the overreaction? Sorry, I missed that.
The overreaction is they made the playoff auto bids purposely worse to get a bigger playoff.
Maybe. I think that that's probably what they were trying to do. Like, if we do it this way and it ends up like this, then we're going to have a really good excuse to switch it to 16.
Yes.
But then, I think that the heads that be, the powers that be, kind of the cooler heads prevailed, and they were like, all right, let's just keep it at 12, make a couple of adjustments here, and we won't balloon it out to 16. That's still eventually going to happen. But I think it's better. It's going to be better, a little bit better next year than it was this year. Put it that way.
Actually, let's throw this one up here and see if you think there are any I don't even know if they're overreactions, but overranked players on this on 3 way too early 2026 All-American team that came out earlier today. Trinidad Chambliss is your quarterback. Ahmad Hardy and Kuan Lacey are your running backs. Jeremiah Smith and Malachi Toney are your wide receivers. Tradez Green is your tight end from LSU. Carter Smith, Evan Tingestal from Cincinnati. Cade Piper, Shadre Hurst, and Trevor Gooseby are your offensive line. Wayne Knight is your all-purpose on offense, and Lucas Carnerio from Ole Miss is your place kicker. On the offensive side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball, they have John Henry Daly at edge, Colin Simmons from edge. So Colin Simmons on that list. Tyreek Tucker and Amari Washington are your defensive tackles. Elijah Hardy is on there, linebacker, alongside Rasheem Biles from Texas, the new transfer in from Texas. Rasheem Biles on this list, all alongside Xavier Atkins from Auburn. Leonard Moore and Kelly Jones are your DBs. KJ Bolden and Coy Parrish are your safeties. Evan Crenshaw, your punter, and your returner, Ryan Niblett. So the Longhorns have 4 players on this way too early All-America team. Is there any overreactions on this? Anybody that you think is crazy to be on here or crazy to be left off of here?
No, I don't think so. I think it's pretty solid. The one that I think is kind of surprising to me is Tradez Green. And I know that he's an absolute freak of nature, but he had a real problem holding on to the ball last year. So I feel like there might be a better tight end option out there somewhere. Evan, how do you pronounce that? Tingestal. That was a name that I was really watching for the transfer portal for Texas. Never ended up entering, but he's really good. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty solid. Shadre Hurst, I think, was another one Texas probably should have gone after, but it's just weird for me not seeing Caleb Downs on there. I still think of him as a freshman for some reason. I know he's going to the NFL, but yeah, I think this is pretty solid. I mean, this is a really good group of players. Probably a couple too many Indiana players on there for me, but you know,
they got 2, right?
3.
Where's the third one?
Carter Smith, and then the 2 defensive players.
Yeah, I see him. I'm happy Texas got 4, and should tell you where people believe about Rasheem Biles as well. As the transfer coming in. Nice to have one on the list. Cam Coleman does not make it, though, for Malachi Toney getting on the list.
Well, I think that's okay. I don't think it's going to end up that way. I'll tell you that.
No, we did see that Mensah has cleared up his argument with Duke. They've reached a settlement, so he is free to go now, and looks like he will be headed to Miami. So they will have a quarterback next year. They have figured out whatever their rules were and arguments were, that they figured it out. Sure, a financial settlement was agreed upon. And Duke basically realized we can't walk out with this guy who doesn't want to be on our team. Probably not the best thing for the locker room. So they figured out what they wanted to do. Looking over at some NFL overreactions. All right, let's start off with this one. Drake May and the Patriots have silenced the schedule skeptics, Matt. They have silenced their skeptics after making it to the Super Bowl.
I feel like they should have, but I don't feel like they did because it was so ugly against Denver and against the Texans. I think this Super Bowl could be an absolute beatdown, and part of that is because I think Seattle may still hold a little bit of a grudge about what happened in the last time they played in the Super Bowl. Like, none of the players in Seattle are involved in that game, but I don't know. I don't believe in that New England offense after the last couple of games that I watched.
No, I don't think they silenced anybody either. And Hair of the Dog, I'm with you. Every time I see Darian Mintz's name, I'm like, this is Tom Herman's dream quarterback, because he could talk about how he's in Mensa all the time. and just be like, "Oh, I'm really smart." And you're like, "Yeah, most really smart people I know don't mention it all the time." Just
The
saying.
people who mention it are usually not the smartest.
Not the smartest. People have to be in a group about it. Not always the
Yeah.
coolest. But-
And Hair of the Dog, I don't know how to answer that PM on the studio, but reach out to me on Twitter, follow me, and we can chat about it, and I'll give you some info.
Let's hit in here with all right, our next one. The AFC Championship game was the bronze medal game.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously the AFC one, like, no, like that was such a bad game, and both of those teams were not good. Like I don't know, Denver with a backup quarterback, like I still think that the winner of the NFC Championship game is going to win the Super Bowl. Like whoever won that game was going to end up winning it. So
yes. No, I'm with you. I think that it felt that way. Then you watched it and it felt that way. And you watched both games and it just felt like, man, can you believe how good the NFC teams were? And it's a shame that wasn't the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll say, hey, at least we get Bad Bunny, guys.
Sorry.
We're gonna leave that pregnant pause after at least we get Bad Bunny. I don't care. They get it. There hasn't been other than was it Snoop Dogg, the Snoop Dogg one with Dr. Dre. Other than that, I don't think there's been one I've cared about in a decade of halftime shows. I don't really care. It's not why I tune in. So it's not been for me for a while. I don't really care about it. Like the Kendrick Lamar one was fine, but I'm not a Kendrick Lamar. I'm not a big rap fan. So I'm an old school rap fan, not a new school rap fan. So and so I have no problem. It's not any worse than Katy Perry or anything else that I don't really listen to. So
yeah, give me Notorious B.I.G. over Lil Baby any day of the week.
Yeah, until they bring out Guns N' Roses, I don't know. Not going to be all into it. All right, our next overreaction here, Matt. Sean Payton lost Denver the AFC Championship game.
No, I think that this is a major overreaction, and I saw a bunch of people online talking about, he should have taken the points. Well, they also missed another field goal, number one, didn't they?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure they did. It got blocked or whatever. Somebody got a finger on it. But
oh yeah.
Had he gone for it on that fourth down, or had he kicked the field goal instead of going for it on that fourth down, everybody would have called him a coward. You don't believe in the analytics of football. You need to go for it in that situation. Like, especially if they had gotten that first down and then turned the ball over. People would there's so many different ways you could look at it. He made the decision. They had plenty of time to make up for it later on in the game. They weren't able to do it because they had their backup quarterback. If Bo Nix was in the game for them, it would have been a much different situation. And I'm going to die on that hill.
There you go. And no, Chan, I didn't care about the weekend either. Did not care about that either. It's fine.
That was weird.
None of it's objectionable because it's all pop music, and pop music is designed to be not objectionable. So
the Kendrick Lamar show was ass, though.
I didn't care. People enjoyed it around me. Like, my general rule on this are the girls enjoying it. Awesome. Then the party's more fun. Like, again, it wasn't for me. And I'm fine with not everything in the world has to be for me. The football game may not be for me this year. So I'm more concerned about the football game being awful than I am about the halftime show. That is much more concerning to me about this game may not be very good. The concept than the concert in the middle. I'll just go, and it's gonna be a cheat day. I may just go eat some queso. I'll keep drinking, do shots with some people. It'll be fun. That's my halftime show.
I still need your queso recipe. You need to send it over to me.
Oh, I'll send it over to you. It's not crazy. It's not a crazy.
I know, but I still need it step by step, or I'm going to screw it up.
Okay.
And Hair of the Dog, I generally agree with you. Give me Waylon Jennings all day long.
Yeah. No, new school country is just pop music. It's just pop music. It's just different.
There's some good ones out there, but that's generally speaking.
All pop music, it's terrible. I've just worked for country stations, and there's so much crap on it that I can't stand. Because it's basically like guys being like, we're hard, and you're like, you're not. Someone sold you a pop song, and it's about beer instead of about girls, or like it's all it is. It's the same chord structure and everything else with different tone. It's like I know what this is. So
yeah,
it's not everybody. You're right. It's not everybody. There's just
like Zach Top is really good country music.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't listen to any of it. It's not for me. I'm a rock and roll guy. Plus, I don't listen to anything that's come out since like 1985. Just I'm with you too. I don't like that they release the commercials. I also forget about commercials at the Super Bowl until like quarter 2. And then someone's like, oh, this commercial. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to be watching this. I'm so trained into just shutting my brain off to football the second it goes to commercial break. So we do that. All right. Next overreaction, Matt. Having 2 new coaches in the Super Bowl will make more teams ready to fire their coaches. Mike Vrabel, first-year head coach in New England, and Mike McDonald, a second-year head coach in Seattle. Both of them within a year or 2 years flipped a franchise around and put them into the Super Bowl. It is going to make people realize more and more that the window of winning a Super Bowl, if you do not win a Super Bowl in your first 3 or 4 years, it's probably never going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, probably, and I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
Because I think as a head coach, it comes down to more than what you do as a coach. Like, you have to get some help from your GM and your owner in terms of acquiring talent and players and the right things. And contract negotiations and all that stuff go into it. I think that the New England is a very well-run organization. Seattle is a very well-run organization. And I think that plays more into the success than people, give them credit for. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen because people are going to start to get impatient. It's very similar to college football now. Like you have the shortest leash of all time.
Yes.
It's just unfortunate.
And Hair of the Dog, the Beatles are not overrated. People don't know how to listen to the Beatles. They're not overrated at all. Led Zeppelin's amazing. I love Led Zeppelin too. I've got some buddies who are in a Led Zeppelin tribute band, and it's killer. I love Led Zeppelin. The Beatles are not overrated. They're just not what people expect to hear when they listen. And so they turn out and don't like it. Without the Beatles, rock and roll doesn't really exist the way it exists now. They were revolutionary at the time. It just happened to be that revolutionary was kind of whatever. And they're one of the most re-listenable bands of all time. If you like you can keep listening to their music over and over again, where some other bands, it's like you got to be in the right mood. You can find the right mood for the Beatles. I do love the Beatles. I get that some people may overrate them in things. I don't think that the overall rule of the Beatles are the most influential band of all time is not that they are the most influential, like especially rock band of all time. So there's just so many people that built off of it and so many things that came out of what they did in so many different styles. Go back and listen to Helter Skelter, and it's insane for what that song was. And that also the band was only around for a few years. Crazy good band. And Led Zeppelin too. Like the thing with Led Zeppelin is they were just light years ahead of where everything else was at the time. So they're still easier to listen to because they were just so far ahead of everything else. But they're amazing. Like John Bonham, it took like till probably like 2010 to where people started like consistently getting John Bonham drum sounds, which is crazy. So I've been there, but I will push off of that. And the Eagles are rock and roll. They're rock and roll. I mean, they're more Americana now on a lot of stuff, but they have plenty of rock songs, and they've got dumb rock stuff too. They're all drug addicts and alcoholics, really falling into that rock and roll lifestyle of the 70s. And then now that they're all clean, they're a bit more Americana. they're doing a little bit better. But yes, all that stuff. Because country rock wasn't really the thing back then. They were just a rock band back then. It's rock. It's easy enough. I don't go into too many subgenres a lot of times in music because people just try and put them into where they want them to be, and I try and put them into the more wide array. One more overreaction there for you, Matt. We'll leave with the Cowboys overreaction here. Brian Schottenheimer is changing the way the Cowboys operate with the hiring of Christian Parker.
What is he, their new defensive coordinator?
New defensive coordinator.
Sure. I hope so.
Well, so the thought is they brought in a guy who has never had any ties to Dallas, anything of that he is somebody that was a non-big name hire. He was a passing game coordinator and DB coach for the Eagles. This is pretty off-brand for what the Cowboys do in hiring coordinators and hiring coaches. Pretty off-brand.
Yeah.
And he seems to be a really good hire and a good fit for what they want to do, but this does feel a little bit more in the Brian Schottenheimer realm of, trying to go into Jerry's office, and instead of him just being like, well, I want to interview these 7 guys who are all 65 years or older, and I've met all of them before. He walked in with a list of guys and went, these are the good players, and we'll do the interviews, and then it seems like he's leading him by the hand a little bit more on this one.
I hope so. I like the idea of Jonathan Gannon a little bit better, but I'm all for trying something new. I have very little faith that Jerry Jones had nothing to do with this decision.
Oh, he had to.
He likes to have his hands in everything, and I still feel like he guided it, even if it seems like it was from behind the scenes. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't think internally damaged by Jerry Jones.
No, and I think he had to make the final call and all of those things. I just don't think he had any clue who Christian Parker was before the search, and that's rare for the Cowboys.
Yeah. I hope that's the case.
And Randy Jones, your Christopher Cross, Austin musician Christopher Cross. He's a local guy here, so you gotta love. Also, the Christopher Cross, Matt, if you ever want to go back and watch him doing Ride Like the Wind, great rock song, wearing that Earl Campbell jersey that's behind you, the Love You Blue Earl Campbell jersey, singing just beautiful songs, looking like a total frat bro, and just shredding on guitar. It's great stuff to go watch Christopher Cross live videos from back in the day.
Yeah. I will definitely have to check that out. In terms of influential musicians, by the way, yes. I really think we have to mention Johnny Cash.
Like
him and Waylon Jennings, back in the day, just unbelievable in the influence that they had in country music. If you, I'm sure Patrick is well aware, being the music guy that he is, but if you just go back and listen to that old Johnny Cash stuff, man, it is so unbelievably good.
I just always loved him on SNL, dressed as Elton John. Solid move for Johnny Cash there. That's the weirdest picture ever. But no, Johnny Cash is another one of the classics that we all like. Is definitely up in that world of like singer songwriter, in that kind of world of just being able to put something together really easily. And then I can't draw a blank, but the Prison album, Live Folsom, is really good stuff. So on with you on that one. Let's hit, before we take our second break here, Matt, a couple of the hires real quick that happened the last couple of days. First, your thoughts on Mike McCarthy ending up being the new coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Apparently, they were really high on him at being able to help a young quarterback grow. That I guess they're going to try and get somebody, and Mike McCarthy has had experience working with young quarterbacks and helping them out. That is apparently it. I get Brian Flores may have been a bit more of the same with Mike than Mike Tomlin, but Mike McCarthy seems like a weird pivot into a guy who is, again, just a very like middle of the road coach, where you're like, hey, we can't seem to win the big one. Who should we bring in? Mike McCarthy.
The guy who can't win the big one.
Yes.
So I think that he's good at being a bridge coach. getting an organization stabilized and getting your young quarterback developed and doing all the things that you have to do to set yourself up for the next guy. So in that sense, I think it's a good hire. I also think it's a good hire because that this probably means that Pittsburgh's never going to win anything while he's there, which makes me very happy. It's fine. He's probably going to have the unfortunate designation of the by far least tenured coach in the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers by like 5 times the number. So that's unfortunate for him, but yeah, Johnny Jackson, the Emperor, they actually just put out a new Waylon Jennings album by with a bunch of old studio recordings that his son found and remastered and all this stuff, and it's unbelievable.
All right, what do you think about the other hire there, Joe Brady being promoted from OC to head coach? It did not do wonders for Dallas last season. They promoted Schottenheimer from OC to head coach and had a losing record for the second straight year. They are now promoting Joe Brady. I am a big Joe Brady fan. This probably would not have been the hire I would have gone with if I was Buffalo. If I'm going to fire Sean McDermott, I'm probably changing some things up to try and shake things up and get a better result. This doesn't feel like that happened. You kept the president. It just feels like a weird move to keep keep your GM, keep the offensive coordinator, promote him, and I don't know what happened. It feels like a Cowboys move.
It does feel a little bit like a Cowboys move. I'm not a huge fan of it. I tend to agree with you. I think if you're going to fire your head coach, you need to wipe the slate clean and start over with a whole new vision and a whole new staff and a whole new culture and all this stuff. And just simply by promoting from within, I don't think you're going to get that. And maybe Joe Brady's going to run things completely differently, but the players aren't going to see him differently. And I think that's kind of a key factor when you're trying to make a big change in your organization. So, I mean, he's going to be fine. They're going to put up tons of numbers offensively and be really hard to deal with, but I don't think they're going to progress in any way, shape, or form.
No, I don't know. It's just kind of a head scratcher to me. Just a little bit of a head scratcher. Why don't we take a break real quick, Matt? We'll hit our second break. Thank our sponsors for all the good years here at Texas Sports Unfiltered. And we'll come back and wrap it up here on a Tuesday afternoon here on Open Gym on Texas Sports Unfiltered.
Hi, I'm Dan Covert with my wife Hayden. Welcome to Covert BK.
Our newest location in the gorgeous Hill Country includes Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and hundreds of pre-owned and certified vehicles for you to choose from. We have 3 service departments that are ready to take care of your car, truck, or SUV with 86 service bays to accommodate any repair and get you in and out quickly. Come visit us today to select the vehicle you've been dreaming about.
Covert, born and raised in Austin.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations, and we'd like to take a moment to thank all of our clients for making the last 37 years both fun and fruitful. If you haven't yet, I'd like to invite you to give us a try for all your home electronics needs. There's no need to leave your home to find great pricing and incomparable service. No traffic, inexperienced sales geeks, or pushy showroom tactics. We come to you. So just relax, hug your kids, and smile. We handle all the work. Just give us a call at 255-8678 or online at avconsultations.com.
Say hello to Jason and the gang over at Relax the Back. They embrace a holistic approach for a healthier lifestyle based on 35 years, folks, of proven expertise, and my back couldn't be happier. Their motto is live wellness, and folks, they can transform your routine, your daily routine, into something very, very special if you have back pain. If you're struggling with thoracic problems, if you got hip problems, if you got lumbar problems, please go over to one of their stores. They got 2 great locations, and find out a chair or a recliner or a sofa that's going to fit you and going to make your life a whole lot better. I've got this office chair right here that I've been sitting in for years, and I love it. 2 locations, folks, at the Hill Country Gallery across from Whole Foods, and in North Austin at the Gateway Shopping Center across from the Container Store. Live pain-free like the Buck and Relax the Back.
SendTexTickets.com. If you're in the market for tickets to any sporting event, any concert, any Broadway show, anything live coming to town, you got to head over to SendTexTickets.com. The best seats to all of the biggest events, not just here in Austin, but all over the state and all over the country. as well. It's so easy to use. Just log on your phone or computer to sendtexttickets.com. All of their tickets are 100% guaranteed, and they will be delivered right to your phone or computer. So simple to use, and you're also helping to support a local business every time you shop. sendtexttickets.com. So if you want to be at the biggest events in sports and entertainment, there's only one place to go. It's sendtexttickets.com.
Back here on Open Gym on Texas Sports Unfiltered, wrapping it up here on a Tuesday afternoon. To answer your question earlier, Hair of the Dog, we can tell you what we're going to do when we know what we're going to do. Best thing is to follow people on social medias. I can tell you personally, I'm not sure what will be up for me after this. Things tend to find ways to work out to where something will happen. But no plans have been made yet. You got to remember, we got this news like less than a week ago. So it's somewhat fresh. And so things are still happening. And of everything that's going on, of what we'll be doing following week. And that's kind of for everybody. I think some people have better ideas of what could be there, but yeah, this is more fresh news that I found out about on Friday. Matt was out on vacation, so I think he found out on Sunday. So it has not been a long time for us to process and try and go out and find the next thing that we're going to do. But we will try and keep you abreast of whatever it is for everybody here on the station.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just encourage everybody that's listening to go out and follow Patrick and I on social media so we can keep you apprised of the situation. I found out on Sunday afternoon, so I have some ideas, but I'm going through some things and we'll see where it goes. But, we'll figure it out. We'll land on our feet. Maybe it won't be the last time you see Patrick and I together on the air. You never know.
No, you never know. Maybe it'll be the last time you ever hear from me. Who knows? This could all happen.
Nah, I think I'm going to keep up with Patrick afterwards. I'm pretty sure.
I do not believe he did one of those CEO corporate videos. I don't think he did, but who knows? I do not believe he did that. I mean, Brad called me on Friday, so I can tell you he did not do it by email or anything bad like that. But no, it's no hard feelings on any of it. It is what it is in the industry. But it is something more along the lines of we did not have a running start on this. Like at the Horn, when that ended, Rod and I had a more running start, and it's still, we didn't really know, because before you can tell anybody, it's really hard to plan what you're going to do next if you can't tell anybody what's happening, because they didn't want sponsors to bail immediately. So it's always a little bit, they're like, hey, we'll tell you so you can know that you're not going to have income in a month, but you can't tell anybody until the week of. So, it's definitely weird places. All right, Matt, want to hit this real quick. Where we're talking about head coach openings, a job that is still open. I saw this video the other day about the Browns coaching job and how dysfunctional they are even trying to hire their next head coach. Here's Tom Pelissero and Rich Eisen talking about the way that the Browns are trying to do this and why you keep seeing names come out of the search and just pull their names out, because the Browns are always the meatheads.
Search process and interview process, which they have run a number of times, is unlike any other in the NFL, and it plays to certain types of candidates. They are a data-driven operation in Cleveland, and so they spend an extraordinary amount of time gathering data on their coaching candidates. You're talking about taking a personality test. You're talking about writing an essay. You're talking about completing homework assignments going into both the first and the second rounds of interviews. It plays toward the types of candidates that they have in the mix, which is very, very smart people in a lot of cases that just often happen to be tall, thin guys who came from Ivy League schools, so that's certainly not a requirement. That's the type of candidate generally that is going to fit into a data-driven environment. So
there's a written test? There's a written test? Huh? Really? Like they want you to write an essay? This is why I want to be the coach of the Cleveland Browns? Or
questionnaires, a multi-part essay, a personality test, and then additional homework assignments if you get through the first round to get into the second round. Which
And
you can
the answer,
imagine then.
the answer can't be Google me. Like you can't go Signetti. I know I'm being flippant, Tom, but that to me, I don't know. You're hopping around the country, interviewing for jobs, kids, spouses, boxes
You
being
could
packed because
imagine.
you've hit the road and you're going to sit down and write an essay. You know,
You
like,
could imagine then when certain candidates decide not to follow through on interviews, part of it may be that it's more than just show up in a nice suit and answer questions in the room.
So there is Tom Pelissero talking about written essays and all the analytics and the questionnaires and everything that they want for their head coaching search for the Browns. Also, according to reports, they also are telling whoever comes in, Jim Schwartz is your DC. That's non-negotiable. So everyone's like, well, we don't want Jim Schwartz as our DC. We want to bring in our own guys. Also, we don't want to do all these things. So that is why we've seen a bunch of people be like, well, their name's in, and then they send them this college essay, college entry kind of thing. And they're like, no, I'm a former head coach in the NFL. Either you want to sit down and talk with me or you don't, but I'm not, you're the Browns. You don't get to do this. If you're a really well-run organization, maybe you get to do this, but not the Browns.
That's absolutely absurd. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna go out and find a head coach to run your organization, why does he need to complete a personality assessment and a questionnaire and and write an essay? I don't understand how that makes sense. Like, I get being data driven. The data is his resume that he already has and what he's done as a coach. Go talk to people.
Yeah.
Go talk to, I mean, I don't know who some of these other candidates have been, but like if you're going to interview Joe Brady, for example, I don't even know if they interviewed Joe Brady, but if you're going to interview Joe Brady, go talk to the head coach that was over him. Go talk to Ed Orgeron at LSU. Go talk to the people in the front office at Buffalo. Like, what makes like
it feels
and
like,
have him make a case for himself in front of you and tell you what his vision is.
Well, I think that this is the world of we're going to take data, but all from one point. So if you want to lie on your stuff, Kevin Stefanski, you can be the head coach of the team. Or if you're a good liar, you can probably be the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. But like, if you're only getting it from one source, it doesn't matter how much data they give you on the one source. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh, they wrote this essay. You're like, oh, how does that apply to what they're going to do for football? Because they're never going to write an essay ever again as a head coach. It's not an applicable skill where in high school or college, you may have to write more essays. As a head coach, you don't. Never again. Okay. So I don't know it. It just seems like
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I can understand some of the things in there, like the personality test. Like, how does this guy quantify as a leader of men? Like, that kind of thing makes sense to me. But writing an essay and having homework assignments, like, what's the homework assignment? Go write me up a scouting report for the New England Patriots this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It
seems silly, but I started that and it was like, well, sums up why the Browns can't hire anybody and why everyone's dropping out and why like Mike McDaniel is not the coach of the Browns. He is the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. He goes, yeah, screw that. Y'all have fun.
Yeah.
No,
and then in a couple of years, when I do a really good job as the offensive coordinator of the Chargers, some normal organization is just going to hire me because I'm really good at my job.
Yeah, not surprisingly. All right, we got to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. We're not putting portal updates on the show sheet again. We'll see if it works 2 days in a row when we get somebody else good coming in. We'll do that. We'll have a good time. We hope you join us tomorrow on the show. But until then, be kind, be safe, keep your underwear clean, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow for more from Open